He was tied
farted
to
on
a
his
different
face,
thing.
But
and
what
he was
if
And
the
broke.
then I was
anal
holding the flog in my
bleaching
hand.
isn't free?
Anal bleaching isn't really free. You would have to usually pay somebody to do that
All
for
right, guys,
you,
great
unless you
episode. Thank you
happen
so
to
much
have
for having me. I
doing it
appreciate
yourself,
it.
I
which
think we're
wouldn't recommend.
finished here because the psychological cost of that will not be worth anything else.
Oh,
But at
the
what
captions. The captions are
Oh, okay. It was just super delayed for me. Never mind.
Yeah,
I
they always
reset my
take a second
player,
when
it's
we
fine.
first go live. They take a second.
There we go.
Warm them up. Warm them up.
No. Keep them cold. Hi. Evie, I have questions too. Why did we go live with mentions of anal bleaching? These are the questions here.
It's an option that people have.
You know, but sometimes options aren't good. Options are like opinions. Everyone has them. They're not always great. Dear God. Okay, so hi. We're here not for anal bleaching. We're here for Stormborn's Curse.
I would sure hope not.
Unfortunately. No.
I mean, you could only once.
Not the platform for that. I'm sure there is one. But...
You could,
everything
but
back
only
for me
once.
to not somehow include anal bleaching into the canon.
So I do just want to bring up that the captions are again stuck.
They are?
Yeah.
No, they're not stuck. They're just slow.
Would you please?
Maybe they might have
so
caught up
weird.
just now. They might.
Yeah.
Are they delayed
caught
on
up.
stream or?
No, they just weren't moving on stream for me.
Okay. Well, I think
But now they're moving.
I just refreshed them, so hopefully they'll stay working for a little bit. Also, hi Kenny. Thank you for following me on that. That's just I love things that happen at the same time. Anywho, welcome back to Stormborn's Curse. This is episode 33. As usual, before we hop into our game, we do have some housekeeping things to go over. Just some quick announcements. First, I'm going to start with my schedule first because I always forget to do that or say it correctly, and then I tell myself I'm going to tweet, and then I don't. Of course, we have this tonight. Oh, those are pretty crispy. We have this game tonight, and then tomorrow around 7 p.m. ish. I got a key to the demo for Validate, which is a beautiful queer dating sim about singles who are struggling in your area. It's hilarious, relatable. The character designs are phenomenal. The demo did just release to the public today on Steam, which is exciting, but we're going to be going through it for the very first time completely. I don't know anything about it, just about the premise of the game. I was really, really honored to receive a key to it, so we're going to play through it for the first time tomorrow, and then maybe do some games after that. Yes. And then, of course, we'll be back on Monday for our normal gaming streams as well. I think... if I have more streams, you'll hear about it. I don't know. I don't even know if I have more streams. We have Crispy for one more week after this one, which is exciting. We got him. And he's going to be back as the wonderful Amanda for one more week, limited time engagement. What else? There were more words that I was supposed to say. I should start writing things down. This is how people function.
I was contemplating in the shower today, just writing down a bullet-pointed list of the things you would need to say before we started campaign, and then I was like, would that have been a little bit too, like, here's how to get your life in order?
It would have, but it's not like I don't need it, you know?
VOD tip.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to mention those things?
Thanks.
Follower goals.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yep.
Follow on YouTube.
Here's a life hack, y'all. If you play D&D campaigns with people who can function as your brain cell, you will never forget anything in your life. We do have a VOD channel. All episodes of Stormborn's Curse are up on that VOD channel, including episode 32, which just went up a couple of days ago, and my gaming VODs go up on there as well. So if you ever miss out on any of the adventures, you can always check in over there. And if you like what I do, and you're like, hey, I think it would be cool if you could pay bills, I would also think that's cool. And I have a Ko-Fi page. And I think that's everything now. So, without further ado, we're going to do a really quick recap of last session. Unfortunately, Jake was not able to join us this session, but hopefully we will have them back. So, as always, gather all of the love in your heart and project it in Jake's general direction, because we love them very, very much, and they are an integral part of our group. So, Last episode of Stormborn's Curse, we met the dashing Amanda for the first time. Amanda sort of caught in the resulting chaos of our party removing one of the gems from the mostly orc city of Rakad, and bringing the city down in a cacophony of living plants and sinkholes. And so Amanda, sort of caught up in the chaos and the running, has now made camp among the other citizens of the city who have fled to the fishing village that lives at the very outskirts. In doing so, he encountered first Tessa, who we all know and love, and the two of them sort of hit it off pretty quickly before meeting Renori and Casper for the first time. And he was sort of, for the night, brought into the party's folds as everyone played a drinking game. The Al-Hasari finger dance, specifically.
Yes.
It was a pretty tight competition. Some of us got sloshed, some of us got stabbed. Pretty much all of the NPCs participated, but Casper actually was the winner, which was really surprising. I was kind of hoping he would lose, not gonna lie.
Man is insufferable.
He is insufferable.
Oh my
his
God,
dice are
so
insufferable. I really wanted him to lose badly, and then I rolled amazing, so, you know.
I was pleased.
I know.
Oh, yeah, of course you were.
So, after a night of shared drinks, laughter, revelry, and a bit of camaraderie, Amanda and Tessa had a quick conversation on the outside porch, and with a goodnight kiss, Amanda made their way back to their tent at the outskirts of the village to rest for the night, while the party, in what is now our usual form, which is really endearing, retired to the cuddle pile in the spare room.
I also have personal investment.
No,
not in the spare room, sorry.
Kissed.
Oh, yes. That's so right. Raven and Faustus did also kiss twice, and one of those was their first in-game kiss, which was really sweet. The party did retire to their normal cuddle pile, although not in the spare room. I did goof on that. They did that in the front room. Why? Because Renori and Casper were making use of the spare room. So, with that...
To no one's surprise.
Just having a conversation.
Yeah, having a conversation.
An edging conversation.
No, they were having a conversation with their mouths, Sarah. Duh.
More than their mouths.
Exactly, but their mouths were involved. I feel like pretty fundamentally.
Pretty sure Kristen said.
No, I heard what Kristen said. Okay, so with that being said, that sort of was the previous night before. Some of us were very trash. And now I would need to ask... Oh, Renori, that's right. You fell asleep because you were very drunk.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
that's
hilarious.
Worn out from your conversation.
Oh, yeah.
Sleep. That's weird.
You just conversed so hard. So... With that being said, I actually have a question for Amanda. Do you think you are an early riser, or is sleep important to you?
Amanda doesn't actually sleep.
I'm sorry, Tarrant.
No, I'm kidding. No, Amanda actually does sleep.
Okay.
This is actually canon. He does sleep, which doesn't make sense, but we don't have to go too much far into it. Yes, crack of dawn, up before,
Okay.
most people would be.
So we'll start with you first. So, after a eventful night before, the first whims of sunlight find you through the canvas of the tent, sort of filtering through and giving just like the barest dim light to your surrounding and your very comfortable bedroll. It's one of those days where even though you're in a tent, you can sort of feel a dewiness to the air, probably proximity to the sea as well. Not an uncomfortable humidity, surprisingly, but it's there. And not quite unlike what you would be used to. So you roll out of your bedroll, you take a few minutes to sort of gather yourself to get preventable. Presentable.
I wish he was preventable.
Okay. Okay.
You wish.
So as you sort of get yourself together for the morning, you do hear the sounds of working, although faint and far off. You assume that the fishers are bringing in the catch for food, now having to fish for many more mouths than usual. And you hear the sounds of construction and annoying but gentle sort of taking place around and behind you as new homesteads are now being constructed. Where would you like to go?
I think that Amanda will kind of brush himself up and, change into another outfit that's as equally as fancy yet just, worn and beaten and whatever the word is that I'm looking for that I can't remember right now. He will he'll go out into out of the tent and kind of look around, and he'll kind of do a pass through the nearby areas that he knows, like, because he's been here for a bit now. Some of the like I guess dock workers and fishermen and stuff occasionally will just help them with certain things, and because he does business or had done business with them through the some of the fishing villages in the area anyways. Just does his rounds, chatting, lively, you know, gift of gabbing everybody in sight, just kind of very dapper, like, ah, yes, hello, good morning. How are you this morning? And just kind of going through his just routine of just trying to do something, because like right now, his crew and his ship are somewhere else, so like he's got nothing to check on, so like he's just filling his time.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So, as you sort of emerge out into the early morning air, and you watch as the sun begins to just wink over the horizon very gently, yeah, it's very easy to fall into step with the workers. There are quite a few who are just like, you can tell some of maybe the younger folks who really don't want to be up this early, who are just now starting to wade out into the tide in those thick, heavy, reflective overalls that most people wear here, and like tossing out the nets. You see the folk who are probably more weathered by sun and wind, who are bringing in their first catch because they were up much earlier, so it's easy enough to lend a hand here and there. Quite a few people give you nods of recognition, smiles, small talk. Those who have not met you before are pleased to meet you for the very first time. Roll me a perception check.
Perception. Let's do this dice. 14.
Okay. You notice two things. Firstly, you notice just as, and it's kind of hard to, in your eyes, like you want to focus on something, but your eyes just won't focus. You sort of catch that effect. But as the sun is rising, you cast like a cursory glance towards the horizon. You see a cluster of clouds that are just sort of gathering over the water, quite in the distance. Nothing immediately probably threatening today, maybe a day or two from now. But it looks like a vicious storm. And it seems familiar to you. It's a kind of storm you've probably passed through once or twice before, and it kind of just catches your eye a little bit. But the sun's light seems to even burn away some of the clouds as it begins to rise, so it doesn't spark too much for you. You also notice among the other fishers and everything like that, you had met her last night, but you see Ripley. She's very tall, 7'2" ? She's either 7'1" or 7'2". I never remember what I had said for her. I think she's 7'1", and her cousin is 7'2".
Jesus.
Yes. We are a fan of women here. She is very tall. She has this very thick, curly, dark hair that passes down to her mid-back and sort of just gently frames her round, soft face. She's wearing pretty simple clothes, nothing like just simple work clothes. She's got like overalls on as well, like a crop top, and she looks pretty comfortable. And you see Ripley, who, like I said, you had met for the first time last night, as she's sort of walking around and talking. Roll me a history check.
History check. We're rolling history. History's great. History is not so great when you don't roll well. 14 again.
Okay. You recognize her. You don't
Mhm.
recognize. There's a half orc next to her who looks significantly shorter, who you met also the previous night, John. You don't recognize him, but her appearance strikes you. You recognize her as the daughter of the sort of the chief of the city, who had been watching over from your dealings here. You know Rob very well. Yes, his name is Rob with an H.
Rob.
With an H.
Rob.
Exactly.
Daddy
All
Whew.
right.
Daddy,
Father.
daddy, daddy,
So you do recognize her, because of her striking resemblance to him, and just the way looking around that people are looking at her, and you recognize, it's not quite a bow, but more of like a flourish of respect that people do in passing as she walks by, and she sort of just awkwardly takes it in stride and does little waves. Like her instinct is to shrink despite her physical size. So you catch her also working, and roll a percentage die. Oh shit. You also see a little ways down, you see Tessa. She's currently knee deep in the water. She's just sort of standing, and she looks like she's going through, like she's waterbending, basically. Like she's going through pretty similar movements to when, I think she was doing it when you had first met her as well, because she was doing the magics. Same sort of routine. She doesn't seem to be necessarily focusing this energy anywhere, but you do see as the water begins to shift and move with her, and she's sort of affecting an area around her. You clock those two.
Sorry,
Hold
Tessa's
on.
doing the moving water thing.
Tessa, yeah.
Okay.
So
Sorry,
you see Ripley, and then maybe 15, 20 feet away, you see Tessa.
Okay, I'm not gonna call attention to Tessa right away. That's too. We're gonna go the other route.
Mhm.
Play hard to
So I'm gonna
get,
walk.
you know?
Yeah, play hard to get.
Amanda
I'm gonna
wants to keep
walk.
people wanting.
Always.
You can't
always,
text back
darling,
first,
always.
obviously.
Oh my
Exactly,
god,
darling.
no.
Oh my god, double texting. I'd
Um,
rather die.
I will walk over to kind of where Ripley and is it who was the other one? Sorry, it was
Ripley and
John.
Tessa. Oh, Ripley and John, yes. Sorry.
John, yeah.
John.
I'll kind of walk over to Ripley, just slowly, just kind of making my way over. And as I reach them, I'll just be like, "Haha, Ripley! Believe it or not, I was looking for you." You set up that one. Sorry.
You ever forget about something? And it comes back and it stabs you. She
Oh,
sort
yeah.
of, as she's sort of reeling in some of the net, she looks up. Oh, hey, Amanda. You're up early. Hi. Sort of starts pulling in the drawstring.
Please, M. No
Em.
need to be so formal.
Oh.
Do you need any help?
Oh no, don't worry about it. I've got it. And you see as she pulls in one of the larger nets, like she's sort of tying it while it's still sort of hanging in the water. And as she pulls in, you see like 3 other ones are chained to this one, and she just sort of drapes them over her shoulders. So she's just got them.
God.
I wish I shouldn't tell you what that strength roll was. And she's just sort of chilling with them.
Amanda will kind of do like the hand thing where he's like, "Yes, you don't need any help, do you?" Well, I just saw you walking about, and I figured I'd say hello and see if you need any help. And also, how is everyone faring this morning? I've only seen a few of you around.
Oh, yeah, people are starting to. I mean, how do you get used to like losing your house or whatever? But people are starting to get settled, I guess, which is cool. And she turns to John, who is a good 2 feet shorter than her, and just rests her elbow on his head, and he just like grumbles and tries to smack it away. It's nice. I haven't seen my entire family in like a few years, so it's been nice for us to all work together, putting stuff back together. But so we're faring all right. Everybody's faring all right. I don't think anybody's too out of place. Next steps and all that.
Understandable. You know, I don't have much to do myself right now because of, well, business is Well, there is no business. So I'm just trying to make myself useful until my crew arrives. And he like looks at a watch. There's no such thing as watches. He like looks at his hand.
There are watches. There are watches.
I'd say
I did that so many times in the early game that we had to establish that watches exist. So
that
there
watches
are watches.
exist.
Also
Okay,
think
all
that
right.
if there's a such thing as a clockwork soul sorcerer, then like clocks and watches should
I was
exist,
thinking
you
like
know
a
what I mean?
sundial on like a strap.
Oh my
It would be
And
the
you know what's so funny is that in the early days, Liz tried to make that a thing, but I think we were fully
And you're like,
indoors.
nope.
We were fully inside somewhere, and I was like,
Oh
a
my God.
sundial would not be.
you're
That's
going through
fair.
what I went through.
No,
Yeah.
That's fair. How about this? Instead, he kind of like takes a few parchments out and he's like looking through like a manifest. He's like, well, unfortunately, because I cannot reach word to them, it's going to be quite a while. So I figured I'd come over and say hello, see if you need any help, and do my rounds. But if you are settling in okay, I'll leave you be.
I mean, okay. And if this comes off as a bad thing, then you didn't hear it from me. Wink. She says wink out loud. But I know Casper knows some people, and she kind of like lowers her voice a little bit. Casper knows some people, and those people know people. So if you're in a spot where you need some work, I'm sure you seem like you're in the same line of business. I hope that's not offensive.
Oh, not offensive at all. Anything for the right price, of course. I have many skills, and well, I'd like to use them.
I would talk to him. And there are a lot of people. We do a lot of exports here from the city, but with and she sort of gestures to the horizon in the opposite direction. You can just see the ruins sort of poking out. With the vat, nothing's getting shipped anywhere for any time soon. So
yes, unfortunately, I do know that. Well, I will ask around and see. Well, it was a lot of fun last night. We'll see if made a good impression. And he kind of giggles to himself. And I'll walk like kind of I'm assuming that's like the end of the conversation.
Yeah.
So I'll just bid farewell, and just kind of walk towards Tessa. I will just kind of walk towards.
It's a special
over Tessa.
Alhazari like
Yeah, goodbye.
yeah,
Farewell. Adieu.
Yeah.
Farewell.
Oh
Farewell.
my
We'll just
God.
make it canon. It's fine.
I still have the trauma of getting destroyed by 12-year-olds today in Fortnite, so my role playing vocabulary is not quite back to.
Yeah, right now it's just fuck.
Yeah, fuck Butterbarn.
Okay.
Okay.
This
Anyway,
is a Butterbarn free zone.
I will make my way towards Tessa, but like I'll kind of like, hey, I didn't see you. Like I'll kind of like over to like the left of where they are, and
Oh my god.
kind of what do I
Writing
wanna do?
Amanda tries to make it slick that he's just gonna walk up to Tessa.
Well, no. I'll say like there's probably like a dock that's like kind of near, and I'll kind of just lean and just kind of watch like nonchalantly, and just kind of I have let's say I have like an apple in my hand that I'm kind of peeling with my knife, and just kind of just vibing, not really interrupting, but being present for sure.
Yeah, as you watch her, you've seen this before. This would be like about just like what she did the previous time when she was sort of bringing the fish in, that there is a heavy discipline to her movements. Everything seems so smooth and almost improvisational in nature, but they're like it's like when you watch a ballet dancer move, right? Like there is a smoothness because of how hard the muscles are working to maintain it. And she seems lost in it for a moment, but as she sort of curves her hands and sort of goes to bring them over the surface of the water and her body turns, you catch the moment where she sort of catches your presence. And she just sort of stands there with her hands on her hips, and the water just kind of falls around her. Good morning.
Oh, well, don't let me stop you. This is fairly interesting. It must take quite a bit of concentration to be able to do all that.
Now, this, and she sort of lifts her hand, um, and a spout of water just sort of bursts out of the ocean and then drifts down. And as the sunlight begins to, like, the sun's continuing to rise, and the sunlight passes through and just strikes a very contained, beautiful rainbow. That's nothing.
Nothing indeed. You look quite lovely today. How are you this morning?
Oh, you're too kind. I'm faring all right. Been a while since I've had a good drink.
How fares the rest? And at that, I'm gonna cast Disguise Self and disguise myself as Renori and just be like, I'm Renori. Just for like a split second as like a joke, and then poof back in like kind of like
Joke's
this.
on you, Tessa and Renori are good friends.
I can't wait for
Well,
the.
not in like a mean mocking way, just like you were drunk and it was. I'm just making fun of you.
I can't wait for like Crispy's door to open and Kristen's just standing in the frame in the background, just like.
I'm gonna
Boom.
Chris Melt stand in the background, Bestie. Just you wait.
Okay, so you do that, and she
Mhm.
does have this moment where she just out loud snorts, and she just sort of casts like a cursory glance back towards the house, like, I'm sure some of us will be probably having a slower start this morning, but we'll see where the day takes us.
Well, after a night like that, I don't blame them. But I wanted to catch you in the morning, actually. I'm glad I saw you here. Well, I was curious. Especially after, well, that was a fun night. I wanted to see what you guys' next step is. What's your plan for the day? Well, maybe in the next day, few days. I don't know. I was just curious.
I have to make a decision. Nice.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
She sort of shifts her weight a little bit. Well, we're currently traveling on some personal business, related to a few of us. I'm not quite sure when we're planning to leave the city. I mean, I'm not sure how much of a hand we can help in the restoration efforts at all, but we do have a plan in place. When everyone else gets up for the morning, I'm sure we could talk about it. I don't see anything wrong with you accompanying us for a small leg of the journey.
No pressure. Unfortunately, with the city's demise, so goes the demise of my business. And my ship, well, it's quite frankly not here. It's on a errand. And it won't be back for quite a few days. So, to be honest, I'm free to help in any way I can. I like y'all. Y'all. I don't know how to say anything but y'all.
It's the Butter Barn.
You know what? It's just I've been saying y'all for so long. I don't know how to say you all.
No, you've just got Butter Barnism.
I just got butterbarnismed. I forgot my train of. I lost my train
Your
of thought
pirate
completely.
hat has turned into a cowboy hat. We've already lost
Yeah,
you.
y'all. Listen here. I'm Amander. No,
No.
I should have made that my
That would be
voice.
No.
amazing.
Um,
Kristen.
Kristen, roll a d12 for psychic damage.
it's like, I'm Amander Nestor Arrington Marius Yargrove, and let me tell you something. I've got the best cattle this here side of the unsettled woods.
You just invented vowels that don't exist. Kristen, how you doing over there, bestie?
I took 3.
Ah.
3.
Tessa sort of she sort of casts another glance back at the cabin and roll me an insight check.
Insight check. That's better. Where is my? Oh, +0. 14. Again, what?
What
That's
is with
so
you
weird.
14s?
I don't know.
Okay, so she You get the impression from her body language to this conversation that, asking her and getting her approval is a good step.
Mm-hmm.
But she seems to value the opinions of people who are not currently present because she keeps looking for them.
Yeah.
That tells you a lot, especially off of just like your reads of the group dynamics. So, she sort of, after one more glance, goes, I like your company. I don't. To me, it seems smart to travel in packs, at least for a little while. When everyone wakes for the morning, I can certainly ask.
Oh, please. Don't take my intrusion as any form of,
You're not intruding.
whatever. If you guys could use my services, considered it free. I have time and I enjoy your presence. All of you. You're quite fun. I'll be around.
Mm.
Please, talk with everybody and you can come find me.
I'll come find you. Have a good morning.
All right. Kind of nods his hat a little bit and winks.
Okay. We'll say this is around maybe 6:37, because the sun is rising. 11 a.m. Renori.
Oh.
I'm not gonna trance. No, I'm gonna trance. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna trance, and I'm gonna wake up in 4 hours.
Up already.
I'm gonna get up in 4 hours, and I'm gonna trance. You open your eyes. The sun is so up. Now you're an academic. You are studied. You have a keen mind.
I always know what time of day it is.
You always know what time of day it is, and the math is not mathing super well because it's been more than 4 hours. You and Casper are still alone in the spare room. Both of you sort of curled into each other on the bed. Casper has a loose arm thrown over your waist, sort of pulling you close, but very clearly without the muscle tension because he's asleep. The room there's a gentle, like, stagnant quality to the air, just because the door is shut and the day has already begun. These are not hurricane quality windows. And you do begin to smell the start of breakfast on the air drifting in from the outside.
Start of breakfast?
They're also at the back of the house.
At 11 a.m. though?
Yeah, they're at the back of the house though. Everybody cooks everything outside.
True. I'm just wondering if it's like breakfast had started already. It's just that the scent had already.
No, like, we're not at you yet. We're not at the people who are awake yet.
Raven, shut the fuck up! No, I'm kidding.
We're gonna get to the awake people in a second.
Okay.
Okay, I love you. So Renori.
I was just like, so has Raven just been awake? She would have.
Yeah, you. Everybody else has probably been awake or have relocated somewhere else to nap. Renori, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
What in the? Okay. A 19.
Okay. So, as you're sort of laying there, coming to consciousness, between the splitting headache, the light, and you realizing you did not trance,
I don't know what the alternative is.
Okay. You sort of, as you come to consciousness, there is a pressure at the edges of your mind. Not like a sentient presence necessarily, but a pressure. And you feel for just a moment, not so much, you feel and hear a gentle flurry of whispers.
What? Okay.
You can't make out what they're saying, and you feel
Normal.
a very strong pull to the satchel that is currently sitting discarded among the rest of your belongings.
Mm.
Such a hard pull that, in fact, it takes your breath for a moment and catches you off guard. And then, as you sort of, your heart kicks up into gear in response to your brain's almost sheer impact, instinct moment to grab for the bag. You don't. You stay still. Casper's passed the fuck out. This man's face has become one with the pillow. I think, like, his arm, looking at the contortion of his body right now, one, if not both arms are asleep. One of those, you know. But you are awake for the morning.
Renori would probably take a few deep, shuddering breaths, like trying to pretend all of that didn't just happen. And after a few minutes of grounding herself, would immediately just start tickling Casper's sides.
Okay. Hold on one second. We're not in Pathfinder, but I'm doing a reflex save.
Fair.
Okay. You hear the moment where, like, one of the gentle snores goes in backwards, as he scares himself awake. And then immediately just, like his body is not catching up to his brain, tries to start, like, grabbing for your hands, and then rolls and falls out of the bed. And it's just...
Morning.
Hi.
It's time to get up. I've been up forever waiting for you to wake up, so...
Don't feel like
This
that's
is the
true.
best Renori has ever had.
Like, I don't feel like that's true, but okay.
You know that I only sleep for 4 hours. Elves don't sleep for more than 4 hours. We trance.
Right. Because you've never slept before, ever.
No, I trance.
You've never slept once in your life. Not
Correct.
in the same bed as me, multiple times, never slept
No,
once.
that's called willful snuggling with my eyes closed.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you know, sure. I don't know enough about elf sleep to
You don't.
debate you
It's
on that.
right. That's fucking right.
Okay.
So stop.
He gives
Good
you a
morning. Ugh. She just shoves him away, like pretending to
He is
be
already
extremely
won.
exasperated.
He has found this hill, and he is dying on it. And he sort of gets up and begins to stretch and goes about getting ready for the day. What are you doing, Renori? You also doing the same?
Yeah, she'll get, like, ready, grab all of her belongings, and then, like, wander out into the main room, still pretending to be very, like, uppity and, like, insulted that Casper would insinuate anything contrary. Yeah.
Raven, can you also roll me a wisdom saving throw? Y'all are messed up.
Thanks.
It's fine.
You're welcome.
I have a real fucked up party. They all got to make wisdom saving throws before they wake up.
Yep.
24.
They
I
had
did
their
not.
run.
I thought you said
All
4.
All
No,
these
24.
fuckers get nightmares.
So, okay. Raven, you have a dream. But you're remembering this dream in reverse once you're awake. And there is a sort of a blockade almost. Like when you wake up and the dream is so clear to you, but when you try to grasp at it, it just dissipates to your fingers like fog. You remember the feeling of cool grass on your skin. Maybe like you were laying among it. you have a very clear picture of a starry sky above a forest that looks familiar to you. And you watch as the full moon you're looking at. And you can't really tell if you're you. You don't have a sense of your body. You feel where you are physically, but you don't, sometimes you can tell if you're you in a dream or if you're like, I don't know, like George Washington. Like,
Oh my
you don't have that sense. I have to ruin it. I always have to ruin things.
No, it's just that I don't think I've.
No, we're not doing this. We
I
can't.
don't
We
know
all
if
have
I've ever
ADHD.
dreamt about being a different person, but okay. Now I'm just trying to. Now I'm like having an existential crisis. Like, should I have ever done that?
I have. I thought it was a universal experience. We're moving on.
I have. and
Okay, cool.
I thought it was universal as well.
That's reassuring.
I will now be leaving the Discord call.
No, you will not, because all of our window captures will explode.
That's the only reason why I got it. Fuck, that hurts.
So,
No, stay for the window capture.
please.
No, stay. You're doing so
Stay.
well.
No.
So Raven, as you lay on,
I forgot we were on me.
yes, we were on you. This is what happens when everyone is neurodivergent in this party, which is honestly my preferred mode of being. So you feel the contact of cool, somewhat damp grass, maybe dewy, from overnight. In
Dank
contact.
grass.
But I was watching the full moon.
Yes.
Okay.
Looking at the full moon just above a tree line, your perspective gives you either the implication that you're very small or that these trees are very large.
Mm-hmm.
Forest feels familiar to you. And you watch as the full moon splits into 3, forming a triangle. And in the very center of this triangle, a red star blazes bright. And the silver light of the moon bathes you in deep, deep red. You
The
wake up.
moonlight is a deep red?
Yes, because, well, the star sort of overpowers the moonlight.
Got it.
You wake up. Not
Is this before Renori?
Yes.
Okay.
You wake up, not startled awake, as you usually are, but just sort of a confused coming to consciousness. Faustus is curled up next to you, and you feel you have, like, one of those moments where, like, you feel a presence missing. Like, you went to sleep one way and you woke up a different way, kind of situation. But you are sort of curled up next to Faustus. Who else is still in this room? Boomstick. Yes, Boomstick
Nice.
is also curled up asleep. She is, although you can't see Casper right now, just imagine the parallel. They are the same. Just face smushed into the floor, arms akimbo, blanket awkwardly draped over, and Boomstick is gently snoring. I think that accounts for everybody. Damn.
Yeah, because everybody else is outside.
Yes.
GG's.
Faustus is still there. The door to the spare room is still currently shut.
Okay. Raven will press a gentle kiss to Faustus's temple, and then get up and, like, write as much as she can remember about this new dream that she had. And then when that is done, she'll probably go outside and then she goes, like, she heads straight for the beach in the water so that she can sort of like wade into the tide a little bit and, like, splash some of the seawater on her face. And then she sort of just, like, stands there and, like, stretches her body a little bit. She kind of like does that. What I mentioned a few sessions ago that she does in the morning sometimes
Mm-hmm.
is that she'll like go like this. She'll kind of like just like wave her arms around, do some stretches to sort of like center herself. And then I guess look around for people, like see what's going on.
Okay, so yeah, the morning has come to a pretty consistent beginning. Like you can see people are starting to get the hang of the rhythm of things. So like there's as usual breakfast being prepared in the central communal cauldrons of sorts. Not you can't tell if it's like a late start to breakfast or if they're making more rounds, but the smell is great. There are also a lot less people here right now than there were the previous couple of days, and you kind of like as you look around, you see the same number of like tents and such, but like there's a significant lack of population, more than usual. Quiet, slow morning, not necessarily
People that I
bad one.
recognize?
People from the city.
No, I'm just like, are there people that I recognize just
I mean,
out?
yeah, you probably see Zelda darting around. That one grandson of one of the elderly orcs in the village that was just we kept asking for bread is sort of stumbling around with more bread in his arms.
Okay.
You see a few people that you recognize in passing. You actually hold on. Yeah. You do see a little ways off, just very, very shallow in the water, but you see Brock and Ripley are just sort of standing and talking to one another. Quiet conversation. Doesn't seem too serious. It seems like they're just enjoying each other's company. But yeah, for the most part, slow morning.
Okay. Raven will sort of walk over towards Ripley and Brock then.
Mm-hmm.
And then as she gets there, she'll sort of like both hands at the same time will sort of tap the sides of her thighs at the same time, like in that sort of slight nervousness. And she'll just sort of good morning.
Ripley turns around first and sees you and gets this very bright smile. Raven, hi. And Brock sort of like Ripley's profile is so large that Brock just sort of like tilts out from behind her, like, good morning.
Morning. Well, doesn't seem like there's a lot of people out this morning.
Brock sort of shuffles to stand beside Ripley so he's not getting fucking eclipsed. And you saw that like as he's standing, you see him sort of relegate almost like a military stand, like the hands immediately go behind the back. Yeah.
How do you, soldier? You're fine. I like practically dragged your corpse all the way back here 5 miles. So I think we're a bit more companionable now. Raven says with like a shit eating grin on her face.
Right. And he kind of lets his hands fall awkwardly to his sides, and he starts kind of picking at his fingernails a little bit. Well, so we're trying to rebuild what we can and salvage what we can with this city. It's a lot harder without access to. Anyway, so yeah, a bunch of people set out pretty early this morning to go and see what we could recover, any bodies, items, if there were any homesteads that maybe people could move back into at the very edges. I haven't heard from anyone quite yet. They left a couple hours ago.
Okay.
So,
Well, best of luck.
yeah, hopefully everybody will have somewhere to stay at the very least. I mean, The people here are doing amazing, accommodating us, but this is not how we're supposed to exist. And he just sort of falls quiet. Like, I think I said this when you first met him, but the awkwardness that runs in the family seems to have concentrated so strongly in him and his father. Like, Ripley is starting to be a little less awkward.
So charismatic,
right?
In comparison.
It is concentrated so strongly in the men of the family.
It's trauma, anyway. Raven will do, like, it's very familiar. She does it for Ripley as well, but she'll sort of like grasp like his forearm very like reassuringly, and will kind of just you and your father will do a good job in however you try to rebuild.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. And he sort of like bumps Ripley's shoulder a little bit and then gives you a smile. I should go somewhere else. And he just starts he starts to sort of awkwardly lumber away.
Bye, Brock.
Bye.
Bye, bestie.
Do you actually say that to him?
Yeah.
He sort of stops and he turns around and you see him, because you didn't get very far away, you see him go mouth like bestie. And then he looks up at you and goes, bye, bestie. But he seems happy to say it. And he just, a little bit more confused than before, continues to lumber away.
Raven's gonna look around again to see if she can see anybody that she knows.
Roll me a perception check.
Nat 20.
Nice.
For 24. Yes.
Unless Amanda would have just stayed in his tent, I would imagine that they would go to get breakfast as it's becoming to be prepared. Is that fair to say? Crispy?
Oh, sorry. I just completely zoned out. I was
You're
looking
good.
something up. You were saying that he hasn't left the area. Was that what you were asking?
Yeah, like if because you were up like probably around 7. It's maybe around like 9:30 now. Breakfast is being prepared. You think Amanda would be going to eat or just hanging out in his tent?
Just hanging out.
Okay.
Just meandering about, helping people if they need it. Mostly just keeping to himself and observing at this point.
Raven, you'd probably catch Amanda wandering around. You do also see Tessa wandering around as well, separately. You don't see John. Like, we have so many people to account for, dear God.
You did this to yourself!
I did do this to myself, and I love all of them.
Do I see Daddy Rob outside?
You do not, unfortunately. To deprive you of that mountain of a man is my greatest sadness.
For people to experience Raven and Rob role playing in the same scene.
It seems as though our resident Dilf has gone off to help his people sort of evaluate the rebuilding attempts. Right? I know. How dare he take care of his
the
people?
Noble ones, you know.
Oh, I'll evaluate him any day.
I wish you could have been present for the moment I described him the first time, and Sarah.
Oh God.
Okay, to be fair, out of character, I was very hung up about him being shirtless the entire time.
Fascinated.
And honestly, it's because culturally that just does not happen. There's no one just walking around shirtless in my house. Anyway.
So yeah, you see Amanda, you also see Tessa.
Raven will sort of like wave a quick goodbye to Ripley, sort of gesture that she's heading over towards like shore because they're still standing in the water. And Raven will sort of mosey on towards Amanda or M M.
Okay. I mean, probably be easy enough to find them.
Mm-hmm. He'll
Good
not.
morning, Em.
He's kind of be just still with the knife,
Mm.
and kind of playing with probably at this point he's done with the apple because hours later.
Yeah.
Let's say
Slowly working on the apple for aesthetic reasons
yeah,
only.
through imagine the eternal apple. He's probably like carving something off a piece of wood. It's just like he uses the knife as like kind of like a nervous tick kind of situation where it's just
Mm.
like if he's not doing anything or leaning against something, whatever, he's probably like playing with it or doing something in that regard.
Uh, good morning, Amanda. Or M.
Yes, Em, please. No need for formalities. Come, come. How are you? Good morning. How are you feeling?
I unfortunately wasn't as fucking wasted on the rum from yesterday.
It was good rum, but you probably better off.
Yes, some of us are still unconscious at the moment.
Oh, quite unfortunate, but signs of a good time.
Yes, yes. I have a question for you, if you don't
Oh,
mind.
how mysterious. Go ahead.
It's not as daunting. I wouldn't. Anyway, when you met our group, what
Yes.
was one of the Sorry, Kirsten. What was one of the first things that popped into your head? See, the issue is that we've been trying to sort of discover a name for ourselves, and we have yet to sort of land on anything remotely good. So
Okay.
I was
Oh.
just wondering if like you had any like an adjective or something that
Well, rambunctious comes to mind, but well, you are an eclectic bunch.
eclectic. Got it. Eclectic and rambunctious.
He seems to be like thinking about it pretty hard, but uses those two
Mhm.
adjectives. He's like, Like you genuinely like piqued his interest. Like, like this is fun. Like,
I'm writing this down
GG,
because
Sarah.
Sarah is
GG.
writing this down.
yes, I am. Wait, okay. You see Raven take out a journal. It looks like one of those like it's not well made, and the closest description I'm going to give to you, Crispy, is like those like oh my god, I work at a startup and they give us all of this swag and
oh
it's like a
God, yes, I know
shitty like
exactly
cheap
what you're
plastic
talking
water
about.
bottle and like a little like
Yeah.
notebook. That's like the vibe this notebook is going to give off. And you see her quickly take out a pen and write down eclectic rambunctious, and she closes it. Um and and she like puts it back in like her bag, and you can see that she also took this extremely seriously.
M's amused. He's very amused. Like they kind of like are like whittling and watching you with the kind of a bemused face, like
Yes.
waiting
And
for
then
you to speak.
she, yes, so she'll amuse me some more.
Oh, I'm always fancy for that.
Raven will raise her eyes, but she keeps going. Or raise her eyebrows. Raise her eyebrows.
That was not supposed to have a double meaning, but I love the fact that you took it like that because that is exactly the vibe that M gives off always.
See, the thing is that I think that's actually really funny. Yeah, Raven is just gonna go. What? You weren't in Alhisari when everything happened, correct?
You see the sun, like he doesn't darken, but he his facial expressions turn to a more serious note. Well, no, I was not. And as much as I would love to joke and prance about that it was fate or something other than that, it was purely luck. I was out on business, as was very frequently.
I don't put much weight behind the concept of fate either. So, um, I can't help but wonder if, uh, and you don't have to answer this question if you don't want to. Did you look into at all why it happened in your travels? Did you discover anything like that?
Initially, yes. Who wouldn't? It was a source of business. It's my home. But unfortunately, the destruction, the inability to reach certain places, to even try to discover what happened, well, eventually you just move on with your life. Do I miss it? Yes. The world doesn't know what they're missing with Al Hisari off the map. The people, the culture, things. But, as I am a businessman, I needed to find my next source of revenue. And frankly, I couldn't find many of my people, if any, to converse with about the subject. So, all I had to do was survive, to be quite frank with you.
I am no stranger um, for the need to survive.
I get that air about many of you.
An astute observation. I guess if we're both being transparent, I have people actively searching for me to murder.
Oh, joy.
Yeah. This is quite honestly the longest that they've just haven't even come close to me. So, it's pretty amusing actually that just hopping on a boat had them lose me for so long. I hope.
Would I have any idea who these people are through my line of business?
Unless you've done a lot of business with the arms of Ankarad, no.
Would I have any idea
You
what
can
that
roll
is?
me a religion check. Or
So
history
probably
if
not.
you're better at it. But it will change the answer.
They're both. It's the same. It's the same. So roll 15, 17.
Okay. The name does ring a bell for you. It's not a super popular religion, but it is a religion of Faerun specifically. Elven in nature, so you've encountered probably some followers of it. Very very widespread and strung out. But it is like basically what Raven just said to you, to translate it, be like, oh yeah, no, the Catholics are hunting me, like that's
Yeah, get the gist.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, that's not quite my realm of business. Smuggled a few relics here and there for certain religions here and there. Again, whenever the money's good. But no, I can't say I've come across, well, more than a follower or two on my travels. What did you do?
I gonna roll a percentile die.
Oh.
To see if Raven would say what actually happened or not. I rolled a 100%.
Nice.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was so wild. wild. There was just all these zeros staring at my face. Anyway, uh, honestly, I escaped with a book on how to become a warlock to Mephistopheles, did the ritual, and then escaped as they were trying to sacrifice me on an altar.
Well, that is quite the story. Uh, you do. Well, I'll say this. You all have quite the cross you bear. You all have quite the crosses that you bear in your group, I suspect.
Yeah, we're all fucked up.
That's a matter of opinion. But
Raven makes that noise of like, well,
aren't we all a little fucked up? It's just a
Hmm.
matter of perspective and
This
how
is
you deal with
true.
it.
This is true. Anyway, yeah, I recently broke off that warlock contract with Mephisto. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I
Breaking out a contract with a deity, so to speak.
an
Sounds like
archangel.
tricky business. I've broken a deal or two, but not quite with
It
the
was actually
consequences.
surprisingly easier than I thought it would be.
Dear, nothing is ever easy when it comes to breaking a binding agreement.
I mean, true, I'm without without magic. I have been for a while, I should say.
Hmm.
And it was kind of the only thing that was stopping the arms of Ankrad from actually killing me for a while there.
A blessing in disguise, so to speak.
Yes.
I'm
And you
sorry.
can sort of see, yeah, you can sort of see there's like something that Raven wants to say, and then she sort of stops herself. Um, Thank you for sort of indulging me. I know that talking about the worst moments of our lives isn't easy thing to do, especially if we don't want those things to define us.
Well, often they do. It's up to us not to let that happen. We all have our own paths. Some of them may be hidden, but some of them may be unclear. But the best part of it is that in the end we get to make the choice whether to go down this way or that. I've been a lot of places in this world, done a lot of things, also seen them. Sometimes you just have to let yourself follow the path that doesn't seem like it's the path you actually want to follow. But sometimes it's the right one. And you can tell he's like having a little fun with the wordplay there, but like
Mhm.
he means well.
Uh, Raven will sort of lean into that. And what path are you going to take?
Oh. My path is right in front of me. It always is. That's all he says.
Raven, smart as a smartass, will sort of be like, "Well, that's how paths work. They're usually the ones in front."
Okay.
The only difference is that I can see mine.
Touche. To I'm gonna get breakfast. Would you care to join me?
Oh, by all means, of course, lead the way.
And then
Kind of throws the like thing he was whittling, just like throws it to the side. Like it wasn't important to him.
I
He
thought you were
just
gonna be like, and then he just throws the knife.
oh no, yeah, he just launches the knife into the crowd. No.
You toss what you were whittling over your shoulder, and there's like a young orc boy, and his
God.
tusks are. He has to grow into his tusk. Like, you know how some kids have to grow into their ears? He has to grow into his
Yeah.
tusks. And he sort of sees it hit the ground and like looks around and then goes and picks it up and is kind of looking at it and just he's just playing with it and sort of starts running around the village.
It's carved in the shape of a fish, like
Ooh.
an exotic fish.
Nice.
Hmm. I
Okay.
really wanted it to be something like lewd or something hilarious.
It's a wooden dildo.
Oh my God.
Congratulations, you've ruined a child.
Yes, the exotic penis fish,
Oh yes, the shaft fish.
the dick
Can we,
fish.
can we do a roll of some sort to see how well of a fish you make?
No.
To see if it looks more phallic or
No. Yes. Go ahead and roll me. I have to. Do dexterity. Just a general dexterity check and add your proficiency bonus to it.
Oh, what was that? Proficiency bonus.
Proficiency bonus.
23.
23.
19.
fish. Good to know.
It's a
We
fish.
decided here.
It's a fish. Like, you could make a case that it's dick shaped, but it would be you're reaching.
No.
Yeah. But you can like enjoy it, you know, the possibility.
We
Okay.
go to breakfast.
You go to breakfast. With that being said, probably as you're gathering breakfast and going off to eat, would the two of you eat together or go your separate ways? Just so I know.
I think that Raven would kind of just be like in a now we're two classmates who both have lunch now, so we're just gonna go to like the mess hall, grab our thing, and then like sit in vicinity of one another, see if there's like a small talk kind of conversation that happens or not. Like
Okay.
it's whatever.
So, around the time that you're starting to get breakfast and everything like that, by the time you're actually served, find somewhere to sit and start enjoying your meal, we're going to say, even though this time span doesn't make sense, but for convenience sake, Minori, you and Casper are dressed, able to make your way out of the spare room, and now as you're coming out, you do hear the general chatter of gathering and the smell of breakfast in the air. Boomstick is just diagonal across the spare, like the floor in the sort of common area, still passed the fuck out.
Is Faustus still there?
No, Faustus is not in the room. Just Boomstick.
Okay. We should probably leave her, right?
Gonna make a choice. Is Casper gonna be a little shit?
Make a choice.
In a book.
he sort of like squats next to her, and you see the moment where he goes to do something like goblin like I don't know, like poke her really hard or something, and then he just ends up gently sort of rubbing her back, and she just sort of sleepily mutters and like tries to hide her face and like groans the anguish of like perceiving light. But eventually she rolls over and she wakes and she starts to get up. And Casper just fully steps over her and she like makes a swipe for his ankles to try and knock him over, but she misses. She's not awake yet. What are you up to?
I'm starving. Renori will let Casper know and promptly walk out to follow the scent of the food.
He's with you.
Raven, if you see her, has two places that she's like already sort of like scooped food out to.
Do I see Raven?
Yeah, it's easy enough to see Raven.
Okay, I was like, I'll roll.
No.
I'll roll for
You
it.
can't find breakfast.
Let me
I did
roll. Let me roll. I almost lost my dice. It's fine.
No. You see Raven, easy enough.
Yeah, so Renori will just grab a plate that has a little bit of almost everything, like on a mission, like that. The hangover is fading because she's an elf, so I'm going to use the logic that it's not as bad for her because that seems to be present in every work of fiction ever.
Okay.
Anyway,
Melissa's like, I'm the god now.
Yeah,
but,
I don't recall when I was born J.R.R. Tolkien, but all right.
Bold of you to tell the god that.
Like, you have no proof that I'm not the reincarnation of J.R.R. Tolkien, so
I'm
just
better.
Like in the sense that the hangover, you know, when it starts to wear off and you start to get like really, really hungry.
Yeah.
Like that's where she's at. So she's like, all the food in the world, soak up any of the alcohol left in my blood.
That's fair.
Thank you. And we'll like on a mission like go sit in one of the spots near Raven. Is M over there too?
Yeah, M is over there. Faustus is over there.
Renori
Raven
is not paying enough attention to notice that M is also there.
That's fair. Raven Faustus has sort of made his way out to come and sit with you, and he's currently like tearing off pieces of baguette and like small pieces of fruit to pass to Lilith, who's having the time of her life. There's not been a happier snake on the face of this earth right now. She's just enjoying life.
Love it.
And M, you are also seated within companionable distance of Raven. Bernori's going over there. Casper's going over there. I have to make a decision for Tessa. Oh, okay. You see Renori, you roll me a perception check.
Okay. That's 23.
Okay. As you're making your way with the food over to where Raven and M and Faustus are, you do also see Tessa, who has a bowl of food. She's just sort of picking at and leaning up against the side of one of the houses.
I'll leave her be.
Okay.
She's a grown woman. She can make choices.
Yeah. You make
I'm
your way to the
hungry.
table.
Rolls a dice. She can make choices.
Yes. Decisions.
Thank you. Someone gets the joke.
I get the joke.
here at SBC, we condone this pot of free will.
The cake is a lie.
The cake is a lie. Yeah, Renora, you're able to claim your seats.
Yeah, Renori just
Good
like goes in on the
morning.
food. Morning.
Sleepy heads.
I
has
don't know
his
what you're
boots,
talking
like,
about.
Up on the table, kind of like this, and he's just picking his nails with the knife, laughing at Renori.
She's tuned him out
Mm-hmm.
for the moment.
Raven, as Casper goes to take a seat, Casper kind of just pats your shoulder in greeting.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is he who has not been named yet, but we both know his name,
Ah,
right?
yeah.
Is he a high elf, and would I know that as Raven?
Yes and yes.
Okay. Raven will be like, yeah, elves don't sleep, apparently.
Nope.
Raven will have a very knowing glint in her eye. Just like, okay.
Nope.
I'm gonna let you have this.
Thank you. Casper would.
I kind of
I mean,
am obligated
Casper
not
can-
to.
Yeah, Casper is a grown man. He could do what he pleases.
No, we can't. That's incorrect.
Wait. M goes, can he?
Renori is he doesn't exist. He doesn't exist. That's the most peaceful option for all of us, is he doesn't exist.
Casper.
Raven looks
Mhm.
at the ground, finds a stick, hands it to M, goes, for the shit you're stirring. And like
winks.
places it down.
He laughs
Yeah.
like a hearty. He loves it. He is very impressed.
Casper
You are
looks
making
very
this
amused.
very difficult.
Raven
And Renori
starts-
kicks Casper in the shin.
He.
Poor Casper.
I didn't say anything.
You thought it was funny.
I didn't
enough.
say anything.
Yeah, but you thought it was funny. I fucking know you. I know when you think something is funny.
No idea what you're talking about.
It's
So you
not
admit it's funny? Raven will kind of like tilt her head.
No, I just know when Casper's perception is that something that is very much so not funny because he has a very bad sense of humor, then he thinks it's funny. Yeah, that should be your go-to mode right now, Red Bane.
He just sort of he has just this really playful sparkle in his eyes, but he has not said anything.
She like shovels the last bit of food into her mouth, and after she swallows, she just goes, "He is making this so difficult."
Casper just pats your back, doesn't say anything. We love a man who stays in his lane.
Casper catch. Grape in the air.
Okay.
Is this like a bit?
Natural
Yeah.
20.
Amazing.
He goes from sort of gently consoling Renori, instant grape catching form. Grabs it.
High five.
He catches it between his teeth before he swallows it because he just show off. Because that was a natural 20, and I'm proud of him.
Crispy, basically.
Um,
Basically, yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
man's got a
Raven
skill.
will sort of lovingly like rub pat Renori's shoulder and like I know that you're in pain, but we all love you.
Speaking
And-
of pain, Renori's like very clearly like trying to stuff down all the bad qualities in herself. Like is trying so hard to
This
push
is Renori
down
restrained.
the absolute asshole. Like she is fighting it. Like it's like a visible two wolves are inside of you and, and they are both fighting
And one is
for
an
control. And after a second she does seem to kind of school herself and like shifts and looks at Amanda. I actually wanted to have a conversation with you if that would be something that would please you, or whatever proper turn of phrase will translate to you.
As you're introducing this, by the way, just so I get my loose ends, Tessa, who Renori you had seen leaning up against the side of a building, sort of, as she finishes her food, and is able to pass the bowl off, just sort of wanders over. Raven, she gives you a friendly, if not strained, smile.
Raven gives a small wave back. Like that awkward wave that you do when you see somebody that you know from school in like a supermarket, and then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to like acknowledge that I saw you. Oh fuck, they made eye contact.
Yeah. She just smiles at you. You wave. She comes over, and because I love percentage die, she kisses Faustus on the top of the head, and then sort of gives everybody a nod and keeps walking. She seems a little lost in thought, but if you want, you have an opportunity to stop her. But she's currently walking away.
Tessa is?
Yeah. She just sort of made a pit stop and kept going. Acknowledged everybody at the table.
Tessa, are you doing something important?
No.
Do you want to just chill out then?
Oh, sure, yeah.
I mean, unless you wanted to be alone. Like, you don't have to.
No, I'll come sit.
Okay.
And she finds a spot.
It's like very much ran into your ex. let's try to make this nice.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, 2 cats just got in a fight outside my window.
Oh my god, what?
Just
I
all
just-
the yowling.
I just heard so much murder, and they were. Anyway,
Okay.
I'm back.
If you have outdoor cats, you don't have outdoor cats. You have indoor cats that you're not taking care of. Continue.
They're not mine. I don't have any.
No, I know. I'm just saying in general. Shit makes me so mad.
Yeah, so Renori extended that offer. Oh, wait. What are we doing? Did you finish talking to
M.
Tessa?
Tessa sat
Talking to
down.
me. Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to. I was making sure we closed the Tessa portion before I jumped back over.
You're good.
Because I got distracted by violence. Yeah, so Renori extends that offer to have an aside with M and is waiting for a reply.
By all means.
Yeah. Over there. And Renori will, walk, get up, not wait, and walk, a distance, out of earshot of, most other people, knowing that, it's people are walking around and stuff, but...
Okay, easy
And we'll
enough.
get up, and as he passes Casper, he kind of give him a punch on the arm, very lightly. What a firecracker you got there?
Yeah, she's
And
the
nods.
she's the best.
Nods in kind of like a gesture, and then walks past, keeps going.
Okay.
Well,
You don't make this easy. I think I said that back there. But I have... I, owe you a bit of an apology. Not like a big one. But I am aware that I've been standoffish, towards you. It's not so much a personal thing on your end. I don't warm up to people easily, no matter how cool they may or may not be. But, you're this fucking miracle. This, someone from Tessa's obliterated home. And, an unlikely survivor of a situation where Tessa shouldn't have even made it out. And honestly, I'm jealous. There's not much I wouldn't do to meet a survivor from my own home. But I'm the only one. Guaranteed. 'Cause we, as a people, didn't leave our home much. So I guess I realize that even though you irritate me, which, by the way, I think you do on purpose, you still matter. And, you matter a lot to someone who means a lot to me. So I am going to try better to be nicer to you. And it might be worth trying to start over. And she reaches out her hand.
he extends his hand and clasps it and says, Renori, it is a pleasure to meet you.
It is so good to meet you, Em. I look forward to our friendship. She winces a little.
He giggles and says, Honori. I am who I am, and you are who you are. You don't have to force anything. Feel free to bust my chops, as they say, rib me, or all of the above. I appreciate you, and I appreciate what you mean to this group. Many of you have quite the crosses you bear, and I'm sorry about your homeland. I'm
Not the reused phrase.
We love connections.
We love connections. You're crossing your bear. Don't give me too much credit, though. I'm an unlikely survivor, yes, but it's just a bit of luck. There are some out there, but all I'm trying to say is I understand.
Why weren't you there that day?
That is a popular question this morning. But as all my business goes, in my line of work, well, being in and out of the city was something that was quite common, and like I said, it just happened to be luck.
So it was luck, but actually greed.
You could call it that. Ambition.
Monetary ambition.
Like many things, it's all a matter of perspective.
I mean, you'll do anything for any price, or the right price, I should say. So, it does seem that money means a lot to you.
In a way, yes. In a way, no.
I mean, I guess, in theory, it means a lot to all of us, since we need it to survive, unfortunately.
One way to look at it. Money, treasure, material things, these are all symbols of status. And not in some cases.
Is status something you care about?
No. But it has its benefits.
Do you have status?
Here or there.
Fair. Alright. That's enough of this. Prolonged conversation with you may ruin my efforts to get along with you, so I'm gonna head back. And Renori
Not I would like you as long as you don't open your mouth.
He bows very sarcastically, but like not
She
in a
just, like,
disrespectful way, but like a playful way.
Just a wave over her shoulder. She's walking back.
I am obsessed with the way Renori ends conversations. Before we go back to the table, we're going to take a very quick break before I forget. So, if you've been hanging out with us here today, thank you. Please check your posture. If taking medicine is something that is good for you and taking medicine at this time would be a good idea, check in with that. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do, but I do know that it can really mess you up sometimes if you're in a routine and you end up skipping that routine. So just checking in with that. And if you want some water, grab a snack, all those good things. We will be back here in just a few minutes to pick up our narrative. In the meantime, we're going to take a break. Bye.
I felt that in my butthole.
Yeah, oh my god. Whoa.
Okay. Hopefully everything's not broken. Think
I don't think so.
sick. All right. So. I had something I wanted to say, but I don't remember what it was.
And we're back.
Are we back? Are we good? I don't know what just happened.
Mhm.
Okay,
No,
cool.
I meant
No, we're
mentally.
good.
Oh, mentally we're back.
Mentally trying to,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. I wouldn't know when we're mentally back. Things just happen. So, really quick before we hop back into the game, I think, where is it? It's down there, I think, somewhere. I have a little follower goal going on. If you've been hanging out tonight, or, excuse me, you've seen some of my other gaming streams, or, like, I haunt your chat, or a chat you're fond of, and you're like, hey, I wouldn't mind more of you in my life. That's there. We're trying to get to 300. No biggie. It's just like a quiet little thing I have going on because my stream anniversary is next month. Yeah, because it's April. May 28th is my 1 year stream anniversary. So it's just like, you know, it'd be kind of chill. But I'm not gonna hammer that too hard. It's there if you want it. No pressure. As we return from break, I hope you are enjoying the story thus far. If you are brand new to our adventure and you're just hopping in tonight, welcome. Whether you're seeing this live or you're seeing this after the fact, you can find all of the VODs on the VOD channel, which is hilarious that I say this because some of you only see this on the VOD channel. But you can find this on the VOD channel as well with the other episodes. If you need to hop in or out, or you want to start from the beginning or somewhere in the middle. So yeah. With that being said, we had a conversation with Renori and M. And as the two of you make your way back to the table, what are we up to? You have sort of the whole gang here. Enough of the gang.
Gonna roll again just to see high-low if something happens. Oh, the nat 20. Why does this happen to me? Anyway. Raven will kind of lean towards where Tessa is in relation. And will kind of be like, so, Amanda, huh?
You're talking to Tessa?
Oh, I thought you were talking to
Well,
me.
No,
Sorry,
we
sorry.
both
Oh.
thought you were. We both thought you were
Yeah.
being spoken to.
Sorry,
You're
this
good.
is while, like, when Amanda and Renori leave.
Gotcha, you didn't clarify
Raven
that.
will, like,
Okay. Okay.
My head
Gotcha.
switched that.
Not
even
here.
though I heard things in the correct order, that you were leaning towards M to ask about Tessa, even though you said things in the right order.
That's okay. The same thing happened to me yesterday, or a few days ago, and I was just like, I heard you correctly. My brain just severely misunderstood.
Yeah.
She sort of like has this is so fucking specific, but it's so correct. If anyone's seen Encanto, the little squeak that Dolores does all the time, she sort of just does that. Like, her whole body tenses up for like a moment of surprise, and she very obviously flustered goes, yes.
I was asking if you trusted him.
Oh, right. I think to a degree, yeah.
Raven looks so amused, just like, and she'll sort of, he's from your home, which you haven't. Can I just quickly do a memory check to see if she has really brought Olisari up to
Oh
them?
god, I fucked it. Hold on. I'm so sorry. To see if she's brought it up to you, like, in general?
Yeah, like in this new timeline that we're in.
Yeah, go ahead and roll me a wisdom check with disadvantage.
Re-roll that one because it literally was on one number, and then it decided, ooh, I'm gonna switch. It was so weird. Flat wisdom check.
Yes.
Sorry, I switched to the right tab, switched to the wrong tab, switched back. Anyway, it's a 15.
Okay. You recall one instance. Nothing else comes to mind. But the instance that you do recall, besides when you broke up, before that, she has mentioned a passing sadness for the loss of the forest. You do have the general knowledge, like the city is no more, and she's told you that explicitly. And historically, you would know that as well. But she's really only ever mentioned it one other time. Like, it seems like she's kept it a lot closer to the chest this go around. Probably because it doesn't exist this go around.
Yeah. Well, she was pretty close to the chest with the other round too.
Yeah, but it was there.
It was more like coincidence rather than like.
Yeah.
It existed.
It existed. It's a very key difference.
That was Raven created a political incident with the other one. Anyway, Raven will sort of. Oh, what was I even saying? Oh yeah, he's from your home, which you don't talk about much.
Yeah, he is. Which is nice. I mean, I didn't really. I mean, I suppose it makes sense that there were people outside of the city when everything happened, but sort of hard to wrap my mind around, I suppose.
I guess what I'm asking is, does that make you want to go look for more?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I spent a lot of time chasing after things that I felt were or knew to be mine that weren't. And I've reached a point in my life where I've accepted what I have. Surprises are nice, but I can't go chasing possibility anymore. I don't have that kind of wherewithal after everything. I'm sort of just resigned, I suppose. And I know. I watched all of that happen. At no point was I not seeing it.
What you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Convenient.
Someone's gonna clip that whole little sequence.
I hope so.
Someone? Or Kristen.
I'm clipping it.
Yeah. Thank you. She sort of just sighs a little bit. Yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna go. I think I've spent my entire life searching for things, people. I think I'm done looking.
Fair. I just wanted to see how you were feeling about the whole finding someone from your home that was destroyed. Checking in to see how you were feeling.
Yeah, lots of old wounds. it's hard to go so many years without questions, with a sort of finality of I'm the only one, only making decisions for myself. But I suppose the past is the past. It's nice that M survived. It's nice that I survived, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that bad of a life. Been living like that for the past. You see that Raven all of a sudden has like such a purely genuine confusion as she's trying to do the mental math at how old she is. And she's just like 24? You? I didn't have a birth certificate. I don't, you know. I have it like an approximation. Anyway, and then I was 19 for like a week.
That's right.
Yeah, that was fucking the worst. Anyway, it's not that bad of a life to sort of go day by day.
I hope so. It's all I really have.
And us.
Well, for a time. Yeah.
For however long you want.
For however long I'm needed.
Well, and then Raven will lean in like real like so that hopefully like not too many people over here. It's just gonna be like Faustus.
She looks at Faustus, who is sort of still keeping a cursory glance on everyone who's moving around and everything, but still very absorbed in just sort of sharing breakfast with Lilith, like just this quiet moment to himself. And she looks at him for a very long time before she turns back to you. Yeah, I suppose, but he needs you too. He'll have you.
Doesn't mean that both can be true and exist at the same time.
I'm gonna try and work on believing that. And as she says that, Renori and M would probably be making their way back to the table.
Welcome back.
Oh, quite happy to be back.
Renori just
Amanda,
sits
catch.
back down.
And then she'll throw a grape at Amanda's face.
I'm
Amanda,
going to
roll me a dexterity check, and then you can
Okay.
tell me what you do.
let's see. Possibly not bad. 18.
All right, what do you do?
Okay, it was a natural 14, by the way.
That's fine.
I don't know what the 14s are about today.
I don't know.
He, with lightning fast reflexes, pull out his dagger, catches it on the tip of the dagger, and goes.
Casper gives you a very polite but enthusiastic round of applause.
You see that Raven can't hide this on her face. She looks impressed.
Renori's
He
just
knows.
sitting there. She's just dead on the inside. Just numb at this point. Just like, this is
This
my life.
motherfucker.
He's like, I don't understand why everybody thinks he's so charming.
Literally is what she's like. I don't understand why everybody likes him so much. I'm cool too. I just because I don't have good dexterity doesn't like that's her internal monologue right now. Like nobody ever wants to play games with me. Nobody ever lies.
So you're able to rejoin your seats at the table. Casper sort of, as you all sort of reshuffle back in, Casper sort of, having finished his food, pushes the empty plate away from him and just sort of like whatever empty dishes there are, gathers them up and stacks them out of the way on seemingly on habit, and he leans forward with his elbows on the table. So,
oh, this is him trying to be a captain. It's really cute. When he decides to do his whole Captain Cutie, he tries to like
I have a
tries
question.
to
Out of
plan.
character.
okay.
I have a question out of character. Kristen, is Renori addressing the group or just Amanda right now?
The whole group.
Okay.
Oh,
Like it's like the whole group.
Because the thing is, like, Raven will sit there and be like, yeah, I've no.
I mean, she's like looking at Amanda more, but it's not like a 1-to-1. She's like
Okay.
gesturing.
Then
openly.
Raven at that point, if you were genuinely just like, this was like an announcement, Raven would have been like, yeah,
PSA, we have a captain.
yeah, I was just like, yeah, but if this was like a more like group, but focused towards somebody, then it's
Yeah.
different. Yeah, Raven will be like, yeah, he thinks he's in charge.
It's much more charming when it it takes place in the captain's quarters on the ship, because like there's the table and the maps. It's not coming up. Yeah, my room. It doesn't come across as effectively right now in this place where he has no status whatsoever.
Amanda, you just watch Casper just slowly begin to sink into the table. Just lets this happen.
Anyway, what were you gonna say, babe?
Are you
I think
finished?
he was saying that we like what our next steps might be, considering that.
Yeah, that felt like the captain-y thing he was gonna do. He's gonna be
A really-
like,
a
okay,
real
what
leader,
next?
Yeah, a real leader, I think, would be like, I think we've been resting for long enough.
Yeah.
The thing that happened 2 days ago, it was rough and it was scary, but we took yesterday.
But we've got like things
recuperate.
to do,
Yeah,
like,
we have a mission from Saloon
and there's
or whatever.
like a list, and we had a plan.
Places. And Raven will like flip open her book, and like it's open, but like she has what Amanda would see is just it's all in a mixture of celestial and abyssal, right? So unless you can read it, it's like what it looks like is like a numbered list and then like maybe a description next to the number, and then there's like a couple of them down. So like she'll sort of open her book, and what Raven is reading is her notes on like the lists of locations, which I'm actually struggling to find in my actual journal.
I'm just gonna go because you seem like you all have the handle on this. You know what do you need me for, so I'm just gonna go.
Oh, you're doing a
No,
great
no,
job.
Clearly, you all have this down pat. So you have
Yes.
fun.
Casper, do not be confused. We are saying that you're doing a great job being a
Oh,
leader
yes.
right now.
Yes, and we are so lost without you.
Truly, Captain knows best.
What were you gonna say?
You see the
Renori-
moment where he stands up to leave, and then he slowly sits back down.
Renori loops her arm with his as he sits back down and like puts her head on his shoulder.
He sticks his tongue out at you.
Yeah, whatever. I only slept for 4 hours.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Like-
more you repeat that, the more we all believe you too.
I thought so. That was my strategy.
Em is chuckling through all of this. He is so amused.
So, like I was trying to say, God, so we do need to figure out next steps, but first order of business, and he sort of turns towards not to be impolite, but don't know you that well. Enjoy your company. Don't know you that well. So first order of business before we discuss anything any further is if M is accompanying us.
For the
So-
record, that's something we decide, not you. With
He
all due
tips his-
respect.
He kind of just tips his cap and
If you have any special skills besides being available for a price that you would like to put on the table, I'm sure it would help. But you heard the lady.
well, not that I need to necessarily pitch myself, but you are an interesting company to keep, and I'm finding myself more and more intrigued by your stories. Let's put it this way. I find myself, well, out of business, out of job, so to speak, at least in this area. And I find myself with a surplus of time. That being said, I enjoy many of your companies and I'm quite interested in your stories. But before I necessarily pitch myself, I have some questions for you as well.
I want to hear those. I have a feeling they're gonna want to do some judgment first. So hold on to those for a
course.
second. First order of business, part A. Before we make decisions about once we leave here, we leave here. Anybody they want to go back for? Anything they want to leave here? Anybody they want to leave here?
Well, I think we need to assess Ripley and John, and whether they want to stay here, go with us, or back to the Seahawk.
Yeah, I was going to say whether or not they would like to stay around so that they can help however they can, and then maybe return to the Seahawks since it's right here.
Okay, we can talk to them later. Going back to point A, M has questions. Has anyone objected to said questions before he begins?
Oh, I'm fascinated by what M might have to ask us, actually.
Yeah, I don't mind if grills us.
You have the floor.
He stands
Renori,
up.
like, leans forward.
Raven
Stands up.
picks. Is it like a picnic bench?
It's like a picnic bench.
Fuck.
Mhm.
Raven was gonna lean back and kick her feet up. Raven.
I mean, you still
Actually,
could. You just it's gonna be
It
more
would be
awkward.
precarious and a core workout, which Raven does not feel like doing.
Hmm.
Raven will sort of adjust herself as you see me doing. Like you see her like bring her feet up underneath her, and she sort of like rests her arms across like her knee, right as a rest, and she'll just be like, "Ask away. We are open books, after all."
You have been very
There's a tinge of
forthcoming.
sarcasm. There's like a tinge of sarcasm, but like
No.
Just
Yeah.
out of character, real quick, just so you know who you have at the table, M. So it's Renori, Raven, Casper, Tessa, and Faustus. And you know that there are other members of the party that are sort of milling around, but those are the core people at this table in front of you right now, available for your questions.
Mm.
Alicia, Raven does have abs. It's just she doesn't like exercise. Sorry, I was too lazy to like get my keyboard out to type that response.
You're fine. I'm trying to like figure out how I want to like go about this the correct way.
Yeah, I'll solve.
So M kind of gets up in his natural flourish, puts his little like cloak back. Well, me being a grade A smuggler, captain, businessman, fighter, well, just about anything. I know my worth. But the question is, why would our paths intertwine in any sense of the word? I think this is an important question for not just you all, but me as well. Well, and I've been thinking about it. I enjoy your company. I enjoy your stories, like I said. But there is something about you all, some greater purpose that you have not spoken of. You see, when you spend as much time amongst people as I do, you notice things. You notice how people react, how they talk to each other, and stuff like that. I can sense there's some greater purpose in you all, some adventure, well, some quest, so to speak. And he says it like sarcastically. It just so happens that I was in the right place at the right time to meet someone from Al-Husari, and not only that, but the princess herself. He kind of like tips his hat towards Tessa.
She gives you a smile.
Well, let's just say that some treasures are without value. So, in terms of price, you don't have to worry about that. He's clearly referring to Tessa. But he doesn't mean it like a.
No, that was charming. Yeah. With you.
I think I could be of use to you, and I want to. Not just because I have free time, but well, it's been a long time since I've kept in the company of, well, people with purpose. Now, don't get me wrong, my line of work is fun. It is tough at times, but like you know, well, let's just be honest, I don't have my ship with me. He kind of giggles. And I'm curious. Maybe curiosity killed the cat, so they say, but I feel like there might be something here.
Back. Raven completes the phrasing and says that satisfaction brings it back.
Nice. Yeah. He acknowledges it. And I think that's pretty much all he has to say for at least right now.
Well, if you don't mind me sort of asking in return, why you, well, clearly, like, Raven just gestures at the everything. Right. Like the ruins of Radak, like in the distance, right?
Gotcha,
like she, like that's the, like as she's referring to, and she's sort of just like, well, clearly, your plans have been put on hold, so perhaps your interest is just curiosity, but we do have to be careful about who we trust.
Yes. I do know a thing or two about that.
I guess my hesitation is wondering how or why we can trust you with this information, knowing that there are people actively either trying to stop us or kill us or get in our way.
Yeah, this isn't public information. Not even everybody on our boat knows about it.
Well, I counter you with this. Everybody's got somebody after them. And I could tell that the information you possess may be of sensitive nature, but choose to tell me what you wish. But, that being said, I'm curious and do think I deserve to know if I join you. what exactly you all are getting into.
Would it
Raven
be
will-
satisfactory to know about what we're getting into just immediately next?
I could deal with that.
You know, for the cat's sake.
I have no reason to mistrust you, so. And like I said, I'm curious.
Quick out of character. What are we doing? What are we
I
doing?
It's up to you guys.
believe I was under the impression that the next step was to go to Faustus's connection because
Okay.
of geographically the way that it made sense was to head towards who Faustus knew from his school to talk about
Yeah.
Renori's school and all of that.
Yeah.
And on the way to the area in which like the palace is and then that lake.
Yeah, because we're like, I was about to point with my cursor and just be like here on the map that I'm looking at, but that wouldn't make any sense. So we're south of Melva right now, right?
You
The base
are.
of the sign on the right side of it.
Hold on. Sorry. You are closer to you are currently sort of like closer to the western side of the spine. You're sort of at the base of it, like where the mountains begin to peter out. You're like right there, so you could go right or left, so to speak.
I think that we did say that we were going to go to the right,
Okay.
didn't we?
I will be honest with you. We said that so long ago, and then we did not start going that way, so I don't remember.
Yeah. Well,
But
I
that could
think
be
that
reestablished.
We were like, I definitely wrote down somewhere.
While you're looking for that really quick, I just want to say welcome in, Raiders. Nathan, thank you so much for the raid. You guys are so sweet. And we will be gentle with the love. I'm so sorry about you, Nuzlocke. Oh, God.
That
Because-
can be tragic.
It's so tragic. It's hard to acknowledge chat during D&D, but I hope you settle in and we know we see you, we love you. Whether you choose to lurk, stay, or go take care of yourself, Nathan, please take care of yourself as well, because I know how emotionally draining the streams can be in streams in general. But thank you so much for entrusting me with your community. Oh, Sarah's like knee deep in the notes. I'm gonna come. Can I come back to you on that?
Well, what was the pondering happening? I was welcoming.
I think what you guys were actually going to do, like
Next, yeah.
what was your plan outside of this conversation?
You
like,
know,
before?
Faustus has a connection, but that connection's further north. So it's just about how you wanted to go about the travel on either side of this mountain range. Because Raven being hunted was a factor. So
Yeah. I think that you guys both, and I by you guys, I mean Kristen and Jake as Renora and Alexis, were kind of just like, yeah, going on the eastern or the right side of the mountains would be more dangerous, considering that that is where I was running into the cult a lot.
yeah,
We would go that way anyway because I believe that the library is on that side. No, it's in Rin.
the library's in Rindrum.
But the school that Faustus, it would be on the right side too.
The school's like away from the spine. So you could either way you're gonna pass the spine to get to the school. So it was just about choosing how you wanted to go that far north. The school's near the capital, which is Heartland. So you're deciding what path you wanted to take. You know that there's a library in Rindrum with a lot of information. That could also possibly be of use to you, but you know also the other path. It's the path that you took to escape Raven, but you also know it would be possibly less farmlandy, more industrial cities, possibly more connections, more help, easier to lay low, especially in the in-between patches. the other side, everything's more spread out, so also easier to stay low, but longer distances between spaces before you get to the top of the mountain. So,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I feel like we did say going on the right side, but we could like.
we can
I
that
have no
part,
vested interest.
that part we
Yeah.
can come back to, because either way, we can come back, kind of circle back to that at the end of the session and kind of let it sit, because we also don't have a party member, like an actual party member at the moment. So
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like we can get what we need without.
yeah, we can establish
necessarily-
that at the top of next week. That
Yes,
part
yeah.
that we don't need to worry about right now.
Well, like part of it would be also it would affect what Raven is going to say next, in regards for their planning and stuff. Because if it was one way or the other, it would have like kind of be like, hey, remember that like cult that I said I was a part of? Yeah, they're like all up on the right side of the spine. Okay, okay.
Am I the only one who heard that?
Yeah,
What?
what was that?
No.
Oh, I was just making a weird noise with my mouth, I think.
Oh,
It was
Okay,
very
Crispy
bass
and I both-
boosted.
Yeah.
Sorry.
yeah.
Oh,
I like.
where did that come from?
Okay, Raven will sort of adjust her seating position, but like nothing about her actual posture changes. It's just like a nervous fidget. So everyone here knows, but no matter what, on our journey, since we're on the mainland, there's a chance that your life could be in danger because that cult might find me and it would result in violence. Would you be willing to sort of, I guess,
Protect Raven?
stick- well, there's no obligation for you to, but it's
No,
more
if
like-
you're traveling with us, you have to be ready to fight alongside us and protect any of us who might be in danger. And Raven is incredibly important to us, so if you're not able to commit to that, then that's not something we'd like to pursue.
Raven is full mid-distance staring, very uncomfortable with what's just happened. Just
Is that not any different than any other crew of any other ship?
You'd be
Okay.
surprised what kind of people you can run into.
I don't
I was
think
just
I would
wondering.
be.
I was just wondering if you would flee or stick around in case.
There's no fleeing for Amanda.
Amazing. That's just my personal like. This is a load that now you have to bear if you're going to join us. And
Yeah,
that's
and, like-
the honesty that I do feel like I owe you. As
I appreciate that.
You know, people want to kill Casper too. Like
Yes.
a lot of people, which is he actually doesn't even like look like himself right now.
I throw a knife at Cat. No, I'm just kidding.
Roll initiative.
Yeah, initiative. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
Amanda TPKs us in the surprise rounds only.
just
don't even
sneak
get-
attack, sneak attack,
Yeah.
sneak attack, sneak attack.
So yeah, I forgot to tell you, whoever survives this PvP is the remaining cast member, and the
Members,
rest of
yeah.
you will not come back to the show.
Yes.
Oh my
Jake's not
God.
even here to defend themselves.
Yeah, they're just like, oh well, fuck.
So that's as much. I know that has little to do with the actual question that you asked.
We are headed north. That's all. Yeah. You were gonna say something?
He laughs, knowing you are telling just a speck of the truth.
We're heading in a
Well.
direction at a time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then west, and then east, and then
And
north.
Maybe south? Maybe not.
If you're asking if I would defend any of your crew members as well as myself, if I were to join you on your journey. I think that is quite a silly comment, but if it helps, yes, I would.
Never
As
quite
to
sure
the
who wants
direction
to.
of where you're going, well, I have a bit of time, so direction doesn't matter, and there's not many places I haven't been. There's not many contacts that I don't have in, well, here or there, so to speak. My line
Amanda.
of business, like I keep saying, I know many people. I have connections in many places. If I could figure out what exactly you need, maybe I can help you. That is all I'm here to offer.
Amanda, roll me a history check, please.
Sure. Ooh, it's not gonna be a good one. A 6.
You know nothing.
You know nothing.
You know, for you specifically, I mean, you don't know which direction they're planning to go or what north means because they're not being
There's a lot of north.
There's a lot of north. There's so much north. But you do know in the general north direction there are quite a few cities, small towns in between stops where there could be a flourish of opportunity for you specifically in your line of work.
Mm-hmm.
You're not too keen on anything specific, like if I go to this tavern, I'll get a job, but you know there.
It's all relevant.
Yeah, like you have your own connections, but you also know that there's like really good spots that you would be able to just sort of acclimate with. Even if you did go north with them and concluded business and split off, you feel like you'd be pretty well off.
Yeah, like I think considering like my ship is out doing something else, like on an errand that was sent out before the city got destroyed. Like I think that anywhere I were to stop would just be an opportunity while I don't have my own, my second hand is out doing those errands. It would just be any kind of like, connections or business opportunities that I could put together.
Mm-hmm.
Shifty as I am with those.
Hey, don't you have your ship? Which, by the way, is a question I've been sitting on for a while, so.
No, I mean, out of character, there's really, like, not a tremendous, like, answer. It's, like, it's literally just convenient. But, well, my ship is on a cargo run around the...
Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah, right. My ship is on a cargo run when I was attending to business here, and, well, I don't always captain my ship personally because I have multiple of them.
So, what exactly was your business here specifically?
Trade, simply. I wish I could tell you something more dastardly or fun, but unfortunately just trade. You see, you can't always smuggle. You can't always be a mercenary for hire or something exciting. Sometimes you just...
trade pretty nasty things.
Yes, if you're asking what I was trading, that unfortunately is...
confidential.
Well, as you know, my business, this is quite common.
Can I make an insight check?
Sure. If you would like to contest or keep up a sort of facade, you can roll deception. It's up to you.
You don't even have to roll it. He's telling the truth. It's nothing, like,
Raven
nothing weird or it's literally just like basic trade goods. At least for this. Yeah.
He would believe you anyway. She rolled super low.
Oh.
She has a +8, but it was.
He's genuinely not trying to lie. He's telling the truth 100%. Like he's being honest. There's no.
We are headed to hopefully meet up with a contact of Faustus's that is connected to his old school.
Faustus's head sort of swivels a little uncomfortably, and he makes eye contact with you, and you just see the way that the eyes almost swirl in recognition, just the head tilts. you've seen this dagger before. He has a pair of twin daggers that he's kind of always got on hand, and he's playing with one of them, just sort of twisting the point into the table, letting it reach its fullest end of the fulcrum of balance. Not outwardly threatening, but threatening. Just by stance. Because that's just, he's cool like that. We love Faustus.
Well, like I said, I have many contacts in many places, and if I can help, I will.
Well, we'll know if you can help after we hear from Faustus's contact, because it's an inquiry I have to take up with them.
So be it.
You,
Like I
If we get into shenanigans along the way, then that also happens.
More fun for me.
Could be.
Could be. You, kind of spoke as if you thought fate brought us together, and Renori will, like, just cast, like, a quick glance over at Faustus, and then back at Amander.
Faustus quirks a smile, but doesn't speak. Just
Don't
sort
know
of
if I believe.
keeps the dagger
Sorry.
going.
Don't know if I believe in fate, but I do believe in luck.
That is also a, significant concept.
Like I said, in many things, it's all a matter of perspective. For me, I lost a tremendous amount of business with this tragedy. And I just happened to be in the vicinity of, well, someone from my homeland, which A, is surprising, but B, very interesting. And I find her amongst a crew of very interesting people. To not follow up on that, well, I wouldn't be doing its due diligence.
Do you have any other questions for us?
I don't believe I do.
That was pretty easy.
Casper, Casper sort
Oh
of,
no, the DM making choices. I feel fear.
I just made so many choices in rapid decision, and it kind of shorted out my brain a little bit. Casper, turns to face you, and you, like we established before when Renori dropped Casper's name, and you had that moment of recognition, right? He doesn't necessarily look like himself right now. His hair is a lot darker, although it does look natural because you know that it's not his natural hair color. Sort of, it sticks out to you now. But you see, and this is very common, especially on sort of the wanted posters, whether they're hand-drawn or magically augmented to create a more realistic portrait of his face, especially in higher wealthy areas where they could afford that sort of enchantment. There is this vast, simmering, endless sea of... fury isn't quite the right word, but something so powerful that it just rocks you for a second, just in his eyes. That 1,000-yard stare that, when focused on you, it's almost like standing in the wake of a hurricane gale. Like, you just can't... you have to catch your balance. And you see him just sort of, casually as ever, sling an arm over the top of his knee. And he looks at you for a long, quiet moment. Okay, so we all did the whole questions, vague threatening, can we trust you? You seem, well, we know you to be a man of my trade, so let's speak frankly for a moment. I have a bounty on my head. That's pretty common knowledge. Personally, the crown is no threat to me. I am interested, specifically, on what a bounty of my size would mean to you should you, I don't know, spot an opportunity in a populated space. Because to me, be a fun field trip. But if anything were to happen to them, and he sort of just twirls his finger around, I'll just let that hang. So
Renori is like positioned right behind Casper in Amander's field of vision, looking like Medusa, ready to like devour the souls of millions, like if necessary, like just furious and like stressed on behalf of Casper even bringing this up. By the way,
mm-hmm.
but yeah.
If you did look at Raven, this would probably be the gravest and most serious look she's had on her face since you've met her.
You said you
because
would do.
Raven has not been in, and like hasn't not shown you any animosity at all. So
Yeah.
it would be like this is like a
Yeah,
very...
Raven's been very pleasant.
Yeah, Raven was like the recruiter on the first side of it. Now you've gotten in the office and everyone's like super goth. Casper just sort of leans a little bit closer. I have to say, I have a respect for you as a career man. I mean, you've built a life upon the seas, same as I. But said you'd do anything for the right price. Just wondering where that threshold starts.
Some treasures, some objects, some things are invaluable. Some experiences, yes and no. I'm not worried about your bounty, Captain. I have plenty of money. I have plenty of things. I've seen fleets of mine rise and fall, businesses crushed, deals broken through, people at my throat. As a person of this line of work as you are yourself, I know you know the sentiments without a blink of the eye. I see it. I don't want anything, per se, in this circumstance. All I'm looking for is to follow the little tug right now in my chest. It says there's something more here. Being such as I am, that may be a bit of a surprise to you. But not everything is about money, treasure. Not everything is about business. Sometimes you do things because, well, you want to.
You might want to work on your marketing a little bit then, because the whole "I'll do anything for the right price" really gives wrong impression. If you actually have morals and ethics.
Casper sticks out a hand to shake.
He clasps it quietly.
Okay, so out of game. what are we doing? We just did an interview, basically. So stepping out of character for a second, we still have to consult with Ripley and the Ripleys.
Believe it or not,
Nice.
that would be a smart idea.
Yeah, I'm coming around on it. It's starting to be funny.
I mean, my gut reaction is that we need to start getting ready to leave, so the next step would be to have to talk to Ripley.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just making
Believe
sure.
it or not, that's what I think, you know?
Okay, so sort of not to God hand into this, but
God hand!
It's the hand from Super Smash
Yes.
Brothers.
Yes.
Exactly.
Oh, Discord silenced me.
Discord
Yeah.
did silence you. That was
It did silence me.
beautiful.
The DMCA filter.
Raven will sort of she the entire time was jotting a couple of notes down in her journal since it was out. Like on maybe like if on one side was all of the notes about like the different locations where the gemstones were, which M couldn't read. Then the other side is just Raven's going to be a kind of shit and be writing it in Elvish, just in case M did read it on this side, of just like different things about like what she's noting, like was trading here, then shit hit the fan. Like essentially, like that's like what her notes sort of look like. She closes her journal. I think that we should probably see how Ripley feels, whether she is going to come with us at all, and then go from there. Because as pleasant as Radaki is, we are on a bit of a timetable.
I agree.
Just to sort of scoot us along here, are we doing a group field trip over to Ripley, or does anyone in particular want to go talk to her?
I am not particular in either way, but I was hoping to be a part of that conversation.
Again, this is probably not M's business, so he's probably going to go take care of his own business at this point.
Okay.
I think Renori would go, at least with Raven, if anybody else.
So, as everyone begins to sort of stand to convene about business, there's the moment where you see everyone getting up, and you're like, that's my business. But Tessa does sort of drift your way, give your shoulder a squeeze, give you a nod.
To who?
To M.
Okay.
Saw the moment the
I don't
headphones
think
went down. Yeah, I know.
Sorry.
There's
You're fine.
bunny
Sylvie,
related things
it's bunny
happening.
related,
It's
yeah.
funny related. It's fine. Tessa just basically gave your shoulder a squeeze, and she's just saying to you, we'll keep in touch. I'll come find you.
He just nods quietly and smiles.
And she sort of drifts away. Okay, so Ripley is, yeah. So as you were talking, you sort of heard the sort of general thrum of conversation and population about at this time a group of folks making their way back from the main city. So you do see it, like you probably would have also been able to like glance and see them approaching every now and again, but led by Rob, who as you're sort of departing you would see for like you've seen in the same way like you know what an American president looks like, but you're seeing him like in 3 dimensions. Rob Throat Slasher, because that is his government name, is 8 feet tall.
That's
He
a
is
boy.
He's huge. He is bulk. Like, not in the bodybuilder, ridiculous, dehydrated proportion sort of way, but an absolute unit of a man. Just, almost like, I guess, like Hulk in physique, but smaller proportions. He is not wearing a shirt, as much as it was the star of his first introduction. But he does have a pauldron on the shoulder that has a iridescent conch shell, sort of that it, like curves into, and it sort of gives this like wicked spike to his silhouette. And strapped to his back, there is this just huge great axe. It's double bladed. And he's just sort of striding forward. He's got a well-kept but very like filled in dark beard that has splotches of gray and white in it, as age is starting to sort of claim his hair color, and is similarly a curled but swept back, also well-kept mop of hair that is similarly turning gray. This is a man who, from stature alone, you can tell has seen war, lived through it, won, and celebrated about it. This, like, you can see the trails of battle just in the way he carries himself. Behind him, there are a number of folks from every walk of life, sort of following along. Some people are pulling hand wagons behind them. Some people are atop horses with carts. Some people just sort of have bundles underneath their arms. Um, Looks like they came back from their scouting trip and they're sort of arriving into the village. And so this is sort of like a crossing paths moment as you all get up to sort of disperse this crew of folks arriving back. You find Ripley amidst the noise of the return and people running to reunite with the folks who had left so early that morning. There's also been the consistent thrum and chatter and rhythm of construction as new homesteads are going up, temporary ones are being reinforced. The village is expanding. And as you're looking, you do. Oh, there's a baby boy. There's a baby boy. As as you make your way sort of into the throes of the village, you do see where Ripley has sort of alongside Kip. The two of them are sort of leaning. I'll describe Kip in a second. They're leaning up against one of the walls of a house that's going up, and there's sort of like knees and like legs braced, like using their backs to just sort of hold it up, and they're just having a conversation like this is normal, while some other folks are sort of clambering and installing like support beams and sort of trying to anchor that wall together. They're the wedge. Kip is 1 inch taller than Ripley, exactly. His skin is a slightly more foresty pine tree green than the green that you would expect orcs to be. He's also a half orc, and he has little tusks that sort of poke out over his lip. He has splotches of sort of lighter green skin, like vitiligo, but because he is naturally green pigmented, it's just a lighter shade. He has streaks of blonde that run through his hair as well, which is kind of just curls behind his ears, and bright golden eyes. And he looks like a sweetheart, even though he's built like a fucking mountain. And the two of them are talking to each other and sort of just bracing this wall as you all approach. Amanda, you notice the procession come in. You're able to go about your business, and we'll catch up with you in just a second.
Raven raves at Rob from the distance.
Renori just is like, what?
That's Rob.
I know who that is. I stood between him and Ripley and then got yeeted across.
Kind of jealous. Anyway.
I don't get it. Do you know where Ripley is?
Do I know where Ripley is?
You all see Ripley.
Oh.
She's like in front of you. Sorry, yeah. I was trying to sort of move us there. She's in front of you.
Like how far away? Like
15 feet. Like you see her, she hasn't noticed you yet.
Ripley.
Oh.
Raven.
That works too.
Hey. Sorry.
Come
what
on.
are you gonna do?
I was gonna say, did you want to go over there? But
so
isn't Ripley helping brace the wall up?
Yeah. So Ripley,
yeah, I was just like, we should probably.
They're sort of doing like wall.
Yeah,
Ripley and Kip are doing wall squats basically, but they are the ones bracing the wall.
Yes, I was gonna say we should go over there, but then you yelled instead of walking over there. So
well, Raven was like yelled Ripley and was like about to move forward more. Like she was.
Go
going
talk
to
her,
forward.
you goofballs.
Yeah. She's like, yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. I
Raven
guess we're walking
goes
over now.
Raven goes forward, just like always bemused at the confusion. And then will sort of will be like, well, hey Kip, by the way.
Oh. Hey.
Yeah. We were wondering, we probably are going to continue moving forward to our next stop, and with everything that happened here, we would completely understand if you would want to stay to help with the whole rebuilding process, maybe you and John could then, after that, go back to the Seahawk. Anyway, what we're trying to say is that you have options, and we were wondering if you would like to continue with us because we were planning on leaving today, or if you wanted to stay.
Ripley kind of like shifts a little bit, and then Kip starts taking more of the wall, and he's like,
Do you
rip,
want?
rip, and then they like balance out again.
I feel like. Do you need? You're holding a wall up.
No, this is nothing. It's fine. And she just sort of readjusts her footing. So, I'm gonna let the dice decide this. I'm gonna roll Ripley's set of dice. Right here, her percentage die. I'm gonna let the dice decide. High, she goes with you. Low, she stays. Ripley sort of shifts her feet in the dirt a little bit, and she casts a very long glance at John, who has, beyond the house that's being constructed, sort of set up crisscross in the grass, and is thumbing through one of the books that you've seen him carrying around. Not one that really catches your eye, just something he's probably light reading. Just sort of taking in the sunlight. And then she looks at Kip. And then she sort of leans and looks at you all. I mean, I think this is like, I don't know, it's weird coming home. This is the first time I've felt like there's something to do with my hands that's not me running from something. But I also know I couldn't live with myself if I stayed here and I knew you guys were out trying to save the world. So, if you'll have me, I'd like to see it through.
Of course we would have you.
We love you, Ripley.
Nice!
But it should be said, for some people, I'm assuming, Radak is the only place they'll ever know. They won't leave or return. So for them, this is their whole world. And it's gone now. And the rebuilding process, that's not something to overlook.
Not every place gets to rebuild.
No.
Saving the world can sometimes just mean saving your hometown.
Your world.
I know, but,
I get what you mean. I'm just saying that staying here would be noble as well.
yeah, but if there's anything I've learned over the past couple of months, it's that my world is a lot bigger than I thought it was. And, you know, we take care of each other. I mean, we've built half a village over, like, 2 days. Like, these people will be okay. They don't need me. You know, Brock's here. My dad's here. All of the people are here. Everybody's gonna pull together. They don't need me for that. That's their spirit.
Every place needs a Ripley.
It's really nice. Thank you. And she,
Respect!
I said it muted, to be fair.
I just assume it's going to happen and preemptively like tune
I
it
didn't
out.
want to ruin the moment, but
Yeah.
it did need to be said.
Raven will sort of be like, well, remember the guy from last night who, like, got us all drunk and then John cut his finger off?
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, he's sort of tagging along on, like, a trial basis. You know, like, we're agreeing, but, like, if his shit stinks too bad, we'll be like, and now we're parting ways.
Oh, yeah, that's cool with me. I mean,
You know how we do that with people. You've been
mm-hmm.
around that
And
journey
like,
before.
I don't know, not to brag, but like I was the head of security at Bullseye, so if he tries anything, I will pulverize him. That's the
That's
word.
really hot.
We know,
Oh.
Ripley. We know.
Thanks.
Renori like elbows Raven like
Raven said that in like the most casual way. Like it wasn't even
I
really
know.
horny. It was just like a
No, I
She's
know.
not wrong.
No, and she's not, but Renori still just has the instinctual like what? Like
This is Ripley's hottie era. She's always been hot, but no, she knows it.
Renori doesn't know how to people, you know? Like
This is very true. Yep.
Yeah.
But we love her.
The wall gets sort of secured. The sort of foundations here is like they have walls that preemptively have cutouts for the supports. The supports are placed through. I don't care how real building works. This is my fantasy world. They put the supports through, and then they go up and like actually reinforce them to the wall so that the outer walls will hold themselves up while they go
makes
up constructing
perfect
and reinforcing.
architectural sense to me.
I am not even entertaining real construction, dude. This is my world. So
The most I know about building is in The Sims 4, and I literally click and drag, and then a wall appears. So you know more than I do.
there we go. Same.
You know, you should just say they're building like they're in Sims.
That would
know?
be hilarious.
That would be hilarious, but no.
They're just on a Ripley's on the bullseye tablet dragging, and walls are just appearing.
Yes. She so the at this point, Kip and Ripley sort of lean back together, and the wall heavily like fastens into place, and it sort of is stabilized on its own as they go. The crew that's sort of working to put this house together goes up to reinforce it more securely, so they're able to step away for a second.
Before they do step away from the wall, though, Raven is just going to be like, no matter where you are, you'll always have a place with us, and you'll always have a home here. And then she'll do this thing where even on her tiptoes, Raven is like not short. She's so short
compared to Ripley.
She'll like hop and very platonically like just put a little kiss on Ripley's like cheek.
Oh.
Right.
Ripley instinctively, not in a demeaning way, but instinctively bent like squats to make herself more acceptable and you like accessible.
Raven still hopped.
Okay,
though.
that's
I want
cute.
that to happen. Yes, because it's cute explicitly. And she'll be like, "All right, I believe we are probably going to leave within the next hour."
Clarifying questions because I am confused as usual. So I have two brothers and a cousin, and I'm like, they don't have to come. Well, John will be more of a big deal, but like,
we already agreed that John.
okay, cool. Sorry, Kip, I made this weird, and Kip just kind of shrugs, like, no, it's cool. I'll just stay here. She goes, nice, and he goes, eh. And he starts to wander off to go help put one of the other houses together.
So John and Kip are decided. Kip will stay here. John is obviously coming with us. Were you wanting to ask Brock? Because I am just so unsure of your relationship with him, I'm gonna be completely honest.
I love Brock. I mean, you know, like sometimes we beat each other up, but that's love. I'm gonna
That switched on a throw.
right?
Sometimes my love is fists.
They are siblings.
And another one for the merch list.
That's another one. That's one right there. I want like a temperature changing mug that's just a fist and then like it changes into actually holding a weapon. Just to make it worse. God. Brock, they're siblings, you know, so. But
Yeah,
Kip? God. Ripley.
So many orcs,
Oh
not enough
my
headspace.
It's really struggling on the real estate upstairs, y'all. Ripley sort of shrugs. I mean, if there's space for John, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna just kind of let you guys make that decision, because there's a lot of people related to me, and not a lot. Like, I can't just be like the whole gang's coming. So, I guess what I'm trying to say, if
You want to
John's
know if we're going to make this into a family road trip for you or not.
it, not that that would be a bad thing, honestly. I mean, Brock and I get along really well. I just like sometimes we punch each other, but like that's normal. And he's honestly, I mean, and I'm never gonna say this in front of him, but he's honestly a really good dude, and I feel like he's really good with a sword. He's a really good dude, and like he would really protect you guys. Um, he's kind of prickly. He's like a cactus. He's like a little baby cactus in a pot, and you have to take care of it. And like sometimes it has a nice flower, but you know, like it's prickly.
It's like adopting a stray cat. I got that very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Like sometimes he's an asshole, but he loves you always. You know.
He gave me very mixed messages. I met him and he wanted me dead or imprisoned, and
We
then
were
he
also- he
flirted
also
with
had-
me, and then
He flirted with you?
yup.
Ew. But no, seriously though, like we were also like sneaking around and he had no idea who you were, so like I don't blame him for that. But anyway, no, putting him aside because we're not talking about him. He would be good, but like you don't have to take him. It's up to you. Kip would also be good. Kip is really good. I have no further statements on Kip. And John's coming with us. So there we go. I'm gonna leave
Kip
it to
already
you.
left, right?
Yeah, Kip is like
Kip
walked
said,
away.
"I'll stay here," and walked away.
Kip
Yeah.
said he said I'll stay here, but it seemed more in the like Ripley made it weird and he needed a way out kind of way. Like he wasn't really
Got it.
saying it to you. He was saying it so he could
Yeah.
walk away.
Also, Raven made a weird face at the idea of Kip accompanying us. Just
in case Tide comes
Yeah,
back.
literally, yes. That's
Yeah.
what she was thinking. She was like,
Yeah, me too. You know, Ripley, I'm not. I'm just gonna be frank. You know, Tide and Kip slept together, and I know Tide left us, but he might come back at any time, you know, and that would be awkward, right?
I'm gonna
was
roll
already
to see if Ripley has a
awkward.
filter.
also, I
She does
think
not have a
Tide-
filter.
So Raven, but like while Ripley is sort of like, I also got the vibe that Tide wasn't really one to kiss and tell. Like she'll sort of like glance at Renori, just like. just
Ripley
like,
already knew.
did Ripley already know?
Yeah, Tide told
Oh
Ripley.
yeah. No, Ty told John.
No, Tide told John.
Ty
I'm
told
pretty
John.
sure Ripley already knew, though. I'm almost 100% Ripley had an in-game reaction.
Possibly, probably, honestly, and I don't remember it, which makes it better. Okay.
Either way, Renori would say it. Like, I don't care.
You
Renori
all-
would say it anyway.
Listen, you guys know I love Tide. I love Tide. Am I mad that he left? A little. But like, grow up, I guess. I don't know. It's like I've slept with people I have to work with, so it's not that weird. Just I don't know.
Raven
I
makes
love
the
Tide.
biggest mental note to ask Ripley more about Bullseye stuff. This is the biggest note I'm writing on my paper right now.
I just listen. Like I said, I love him, but I mean, also, I'm not saying you have to take Kip because of that. I just like that seems like a really weird reason to tell somebody they can't. Like, you can't go on a trip because. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it to you guys because you guys seem like you'd be able to make a better, more informed decision about this. I'm just telling you, like, my family, each person has like maybe could be helpful, and it's about who you want to go with you. Cool. Yeah.
Sure. Could we get
You
back
know,
to you about that?
Yeah, that. makes
I
it
mean, yeah, you
really
said you had
difficult.
to leave. So
We'll like collect our things. We'll sort of like
Which means you and
Ru-
John need to
ruminate.
get ready to go.
yeah,
at the
we'll
very
ruminate
least.
and then we'll
Okay.
we'll give whoever we asked. You and John should start packing if we do decide to bring Brock or Kip. We'll give them plenty of notice. We'll just get half a second, maybe, of in-game time, and then a week of out-game time to think about it.
Okay. Yeah. I'll go, and she starts like mid-conversation, turns on her heel, and starts walking over to John. I love neurodivergent characters. She goes and walks over to him.
Raven, in a sense of like, I love this person, will wave at Ripley's back
Aw.
to sort of give the goodbye and the conversation a close, and then turn to Renori. I think that went well.
I don't know what choice we're supposed to make.
Whether or not Kip or...
No, I don't know which one's the right answer.
I don't think there is a right answer. I just think we need to figure it out.
Casper, who has also been here, sort of clears his throat. I mean, we don't necessarily have to choose.
Yeah, we could also choose not to bring anybody.
This is true.
Or
Well,
both.
yeah, no, that's what I mean. I don't know if we should choose to bring them or not.
Well, we'll figure it out, you know?
We do have a bit of time.
30 minutes?
Yeah. I say with confidence because we're probably gonna wrap up soon.
You guessed it.
Mm-hmm. No, I know.
No, just look, we'll pack our things. It's gonna take a bit of time anyway. I'm sure Ripley has some goodbyes to say, and that should be ample time. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, we also have to find the Mander, see if he's the type to have like a single backpack or 10 luggages. We don't know.
This is also true, and I would say it would be about last call if we wanted to go get anything from the Seahawk. Because it would be a little bit of a walk, but at least still possible to do at this point in time.
I'm pretty sure I brought my entire life.
Renori brought her whole ass life, so... Which wasn't
I
a
should
ton.
specify, or anyone. This is the DM saying, think about all of the NPCs you have adopted.
Oh god.
And now you will have to choose which of your NPCs are going with you.
When we heard found family and took that as a challenge, yes, we will find
Oh,
all the
God.
family.
And now you're leaving the family for a little bit. Who are you taking with you? So as you all begin to not necessarily disperse, but make your way back to Iselda's home to start gathering your things, leaving Ripley talking to John very animatedly.
Quest bound, dude.
So make their, sort of going your separate ways just for the moment. Going over to Amander. You have a moment's respite in your tent. The sounds of construction near where you are have begun to subside. It seems like whatever they're, the houses they're putting together is starting to move further and further away from you. And looks like you have quite the journey ahead. And as you're sort of in your tent, just taking a moment, mulling over what was probably the strangest interview you've ever been through, you feel
Or
it
not.
just one more time. This sort of just tug in your chest. Directionless, but there. And that sort of just almost like an impulsive flare of recklessness kicks up and then subsides, like a very quick and like a very quick breeze, actually. I think that's a good way to put it. With that, we are going to wrap episode 33. I definitely looked at the stream title for that one. Episode 33 of Stormborn's Curse. Thank you so much for hanging out. This episode was a little bit shorter than our usual episodes, but I hope you enjoyed the content nonetheless. We will be back as usual next Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We did start a little bit late tonight, but hopefully we'll have the full gang and we'll be starting on time next week. Life happens. We will also have Crispy again for one more week.
Yeah!
Here to Ripley, believe it or not, us for one more episode.
And also, Kristen will be in New York City.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right. That
will.
is next week. Kristen.
Aw.
We
Sarah and I will be sitting next to each other on camera.
the two of them will at least be sitting next to each other. I might also be there. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. But stream might look different next week for a variety of reasons. So,
Love it.
Crispy, as always, thank you so much. You're a joy to have.
Thank you guys. It was super fun. Oh my god. You guys caught me on for a loop a couple times. Oh, that was fun.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
good. Interesting.
They caught you. Imagine being their DM. Anyway, that was affectionate. Okay, really quick housekeeping things.
that was
I'm going to
proud.
absolutely blow through these and then I'll let you guys go. So tomorrow, around 7 today technically. Tomorrow around 7 p.m. Eastern, I will be cracking open this beautiful, beautiful game called Validate, which I got a key for. It looks amazing. It is a dating sim about struggling singles in your area with a wide variety of cast. Beautiful art, looks hilarious. I'm very heartfelt, and I'm very, very excited. The demo did just release on Steam, so anybody that wants to play it, you can absolutely play it. You can actually play it alongside me tomorrow if you wanted to. But I will be giving my first impressions on that, talking about that tomorrow, and we might switch into some other game. And then on Monday, we will be back for our normal gaming streams at 6:30 EST. I haven't decided what I'm going to play. I don't know if I'm going to put up a poll. I might actually just make like a decision for once in my life. We'll see. And I will just reiterate one more time, we got our follower goal going on because we are pretty damn close. It would be like really cool if we could hit 300 by May 28th, because that's my 1-year stream anniversary, and that would feel really nice. But there's
Also,
obvious.
the 1-year anniversary.
We got
of
this.
Stormborn
This is gonna
Curse.
happen.
This is true. My first real stream. It wasn't my first stream, but my first real stream, because my first stream was technically a test stream, was Stormborn's Curse, and we started on May 28th.
Let's
So it would
go.
also be the 1-year anniversary of the show, so that would be super fun.
That's pretty fucking impressive, by the way, guys. That is not many people can say that, you know, they've done that. So that's pretty cool.
Oh my god, Stormborn's Curse has been going on for almost a year.
Yeah.
A year.
Dude.
That's
year.
commitment that a lot of people cannot give. So that's super fucking awesome. Seriously,
Thank
very
you,
proud of you
dude.
guys.
I'm real happy about it.
I'm
So excited
also
to
really
finally be
happy.
part of it too.
Yes!
Yes.
Yes!
You are part of this legacy.
You
and
are in the
you,
canon.
And you at home
Yes.
viewers.
You're in the wiki.
Yes.
More to come. Don't worry.
Oh,
This
God.
is actually.
Big bad evil guy fight. Next episode, it's Crispy.
Yeah, no, we're just we're just gonna speed run to the end.
Or I get to kill him and steal the thunder.
Oh,
That would actually be
when the
hilarious.
guest steals.
That honestly would be
That would be
That's
I
fantastic.
hope that happens. I hope
It's
that
just
happens.
like-
rough.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
All
throw
of a
out
sudden-
like 2 years of worth of notes, and we're just gonna do the final boss battle tomorrow. And we're
It's
just not
just
gonna do
like-
this anymore.
It's like
Yep.
a sitcom when like that like weaselly character that everybody gets annoyed at like shows up and they're like, Hugo Stormborn. just and then that's how the fight begins.
Oh my god.
No, see, no, because now I'm tempted. That means we have to stop.
No!
Um,
No,
Thank you,
no.
thank you, everybody. Dear God, I want to so bad. Thank you, everybody. Please check out Crispy. Crispy's amazing partner and Twitch streamer with a variety of sponsorships under his belt and a really, really fun community to hang out with.
And a bunny.
And a bunny.
I'm mod
He's
there
over
for
there.
Sylvie. Sylvie's my direct superior.
I also, I signed an NDA, so I can't say what, other activities I take care of for Sylvie, like getting rid of his enemies, but I also moderate for Sylvie.
I
I
just
was waiting for that
Wow.
sentence to land for so long.
Wow.
I just mod for Crispy.
Thanks, Liz.
Yeah, you're welcome. But that is seriously, that is an unbiased opinion. I really, really enjoy all of Crispy's content, and I would strongly encourage you, if you like the vibes here, you're gonna love the vibes there. That being said, please also support the rest of our wonderful cast, including Jake. Send some love to Jake's direction, and Sarah, and Kristen, and Chris, who has, for the moment, in case you missed a couple episodes ago, stepped away from us as Tide's path took him elsewhere, and life stuff changed for our wonderful dear Chris. But he may rejoin us sometime in the future. Oh, shit! Fuck! That was the thing I was supposed to announce. Jesus Christ! I'm so sorry. I've been sitting on this all stream, and I thought I forgot something insignificant, and it turns out it is the only significant thing I was supposed to say. This weekend, I will officially be opening up casting for the next permanent spot on Stormborn's Curse. I'm gonna, keep an eye on my Twitter for that.
I didn't know where that was.
I'm so sorry. That was so passionate. I just haven't. Neurodivergent things. I have no short-term memory, so I will be
I'm
opening
like,
up.
the group chat didn't hear about this yet.
No, because I made that decision earlier today, and then I took a nap instead of telling you. So,
It's fair.
casting for the permanent, our next permanent spot on Stormborn's Curse. Not taking Chris's place, because Chris's place is always open, but as a new additional member of the family, will be opening this weekend. Keep an eye out on my Twitter for that. I will be putting up a tweet. If you're somebody who's played TTRPGs before, if you've never played, the spot is open. Preferring queer cast members and cast members that are people of color primarily, but anybody can absolutely throw their hat in the ring. And we might still have a couple more guests to sort of balance out the time, but I am officially gonna open up the floodgates on that one. So if you've been watching the show and you're like, hey, I'd like to play with them, give it a shot. So yeah, that's gonna be going up over the weekend. With that being said, finally I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm so sorry. That was so violent. Thank you so much. This is this is generally me having any sort of formative memory looks like. Even if I'm not talking to anybody.
I know how it feels. Trust me. I got you. I'm
get it.
with you.
Okay. So now that I've actually remembered everything, thank you all so much for watching, for hanging out with us, whether you're seeing this live or on the VOD channel, and we will see you next week for episode 34 of Stormborn's Curse. For now, goodbye. Oh god, wait, hold on. I missed my button. Shit. Fuck. It's fine. Okay, goodbye.